Hey everyone, welcome to Go Live. What a sick show. It's here. I've been talking about this time for I think 3 months. And now we're here. And look who's with us. It's gonna be a fire show. We're hyped. I'm hyped. I'm having cereal right now because I need to douse a bit of the sauce to regulate myself. But thank you so much for joining us, guys. It's gonna be a great chat. It's the Iron Lord podcast. Oh, that's you, Cog, isn't it? You run that channel.
Yeah, that's me. I'm that
guy. Shout out to everyone. Before I introduce you guys, though, Asa with his lovely looking studio, man. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm all good.
Ready to swim in the sauce? I can never tell.
Ready to swim in the sauce. I'm not going to do the impression. I've been learning. I've been working on it, but it's not quite there yet.
You'll get there. But yeah, thank you so much, Carlos Joel. Thank you so much. New member. Oh wow, Gunstar. I see how it is when Rand's show's not happening, then you pop up. Thank you. Thank you for joining the Gameondaily Elite, brother. It means a lot. Thank you so much, man. But yes, joining us on this extra special show, the man, the one, the only, who's running a mad podcast tomorrow, and we are honored to have you on the show, man. It's always a pleasure, and always been inundated with requests that bring him back. Any lords I have. I'm trying to get Solver as well.
Yeah, you gotta get Solver.
Yeah, Solver's just he's I can't do that. I was gonna do a whip sound, but
oh, listen, as a faithful man.
yeah. He has to get consent from his boss.
Oh my God! You do a Saturday podcast. He can make Saturday. He can hit him up.
Yeah. No, I have. I'm just waiting on him to confirm that he can make it. But Cog, man, you are honestly a pillar of the community. Your workload is mad, and there's always a sense of guilt when I message you. Honestly, it's like, Cog, are you okay to come? Because I know you're doing so many shows, but you're the main man from the Iron Lords. Thank you so much. It's honestly a pleasure having you on, man. How are you doing?
Doing good, brother. Absolute pleasure. Back with the Sauce Gameondaily. We got Colt in the building. It's gonna be a good show, man. But yeah, man, always busy, but I always try to find time, to try to do your show. Obviously when schedules permitting and stuff like that. It's the fun time of year right now. Everyone's in the grind. We know what's going on. This is the ramp up. The hype is getting there. We're a week away, so I'm excited to talk games, man. Thanks for the invite, man. For real, really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming over. A spider just fell on my. That's amazing.
You're not wearing pants.
I'm in for a good time. But yes, last but certainly not least is what I consider one of my best friends, and seriously, one of the most prominent faces in the community. You were on Kind of Funny X-Cast, rocking the sauce, ladies and gentlemen. It is the one, the only, the delectable Colt Eastwood. How you doing, man?
Good. I couldn't find my Gameondaily shirt. I think I used it to change the oil in my car or something. But no. I love it. Gaz sent me a Sauce shirt, Gameondaily shirt. Sent me a shirt for my son that was so small I put it on my dog. For real, thank you for having me on. I just realized this is my 4th podcast this week. I did my XNC podcast on Monday, RDX on Tuesday, Kind of Funny Games yesterday, which went up today. Ooh. And then I'm here for Go Live. Like, this is, oh man, and I love it. Thank you for having me on.
No, thank you for being here, man. Your workload has been pretty mad. It's everyone, all of us, really, because it's E3, man. It doesn't feel like work because it's E3, man. And we're so 1 week away. This time next week we'll be talking about so much madness. And then we got the Sunday after. Shut up, Gaz. Shut up. But yeah, I'm just hyped. Guys, ladies and gentlemen in chat, do feel free to pose any questions. We've got a set list of topics, but it'll be quite fluid because it's all E3 discussions, right? Is Colt using the mic from the webcam?
Yeah, I will fix that right now.
Yeah, I thought,
man, audio's like my thing, you know.
No, but
trust me, Colt, I was having all type of issues. I was having worse
Watch
issues.
this. Are you ready from crappy?
No, wonderful.
There you go. There you go.
Wow.
That's the video code. That in a world. That's that code. That's what he's waiting for.
Across
you know
the
that
room,
dude when
like
you watch the
stuff.
movie trailer. That's that code.
Yeah.
The movie
go.
trailer voice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta love Windows. It like decides to reset everything every time you do something. So yeah, thanks chat for letting me know.
Yeah,
Now I can
thank
be
you, thank you,
saucy.
There's so much bass in that voice. But before we go into like talking about E3, I don't know why I'm asking you this question, Colt. I know exactly what you've been playing because you've been telling me every 3 seconds how good this game is. Well, what have you been up to anyway besides being on podcasts and being famous and all that stuff?
Famous. Mass Effect has it's my favorite game ever made. I'm pretty sure now. I know it because I'm playing it right now, and it's undisputable for me personally.
Oh.
I would think I'm probably around 150 hours total for the entire thing, and I'm halfway through Mass Effect 3, so I have another 20 some hours to go or more.
Yeah.
I've never been more happy and excited and having so much fun and immersed and emotionally connected than I have to this game like in years and years. So I didn't think replaying a game like this would do this, but I've been doing that, doing podcasts, playing Mass Effect when I'm not on the air. That's basically me.
Let's just settle this because we've got Cog here. Me and him are peas in the pod, really, when it comes to a lot of things. But he's more of a pacifist than me. But when it comes to Mass Effect, which one's better? Which one's the best?
You started trouble early. You going for violence. You going for violence. Okay.
I always choose violence. Violence is my vice, man.
And I'm changing this one too. Yeah.
Are you changing
again?
it? Oh.
Well, I used to tell people just to rock the boat. Cog knows this, that Mass Effect 1 is the best because it builds the world and it's more nerdy and tells a long drawn out story. But of course, I knew 2 was the best. But as I'm playing 3, I'm like, 3 could just have everything when you include all the DLC. So.
Oh, you picked the worst one. Okay, that's
it.
No, I understand his point, though. I understand his point.
Yeah, I'm getting there as well. And it was just the ending that kind of let it down, but it was so good before that. What about you, Cognito? Do you even have time? Actually, you do.
I'm trying to make time. I was doing Yakuza Like a Dragon. I had wanted to finish that off before I started Mass Effect because I know Mass Effect, like Cole said, like I'm so emotionally connected to it because sci-fi is my bag. Then you have the choices, the aesthetic, and let's be real. For its time, it was transformative. Just the simple fact of carrying your save data onto another game. It still really hasn't been replicated, and choices mattering and things that you did, you seeing the after effect. So I just now started that, now that I got my other single player stuff kind of under control. And like Cole said, just such an appreciation. I think I'm doing the Bring Down the Sky DLC portion of Mass Effect 1 right now and having a ball. But to your question, 2 will always be my favorite. That's just the emotional connection I have to the characters, the development, and then the suicide mission, of course. But to Cole's point, also when we actually were talking to Addict because he's new to the series, so I'm loving watching him embrace. It's an OG. You like, does it hold up to the young generation? And see him go crazy, and it's like, Cog, this is the greatest thing. Like, I get it now. And for him, 3 is his favorite.
Yeah,
and I get it because it's so more advanced. It really upped the stakes for us hardcore. You know how we felt about the ending, so that sullied it. But if you look at it, pound for pound, you can make the argument for 3. So yeah, it's a great series, man. I can't wait. I just can't wait to get back to it.
It's too hard to pick because Cog's right. Like 2 has the best squad mates all the way across the board. The final mission is the best. 3, the combat is wrapped up so much. So you don't really have to pick because if you play the entire series, you get it all. No matter what, you totally get it all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you'll see.
yeah, so like, I was with Lord Addict and UCog when we were in the party chat, and he was just about to finish 3, and there was just radio silence.
Yeah.
He was right at the ending. And I never heard from him. But that third one is his best one.
Yeah, he said 3 is still but remember also, guys, he's got the the enhanced version of the ending that we weren't privy to, that we had to wait months for to get a little bit more context. But to his credit, he likes it. And then the thing that actually made me smile was when he says, man, this thing really holds up, like it looks good. And that always feels good, to see the young generation appreciate what we used to love. So it's the great, it's like I said, it's arguably my greatest video game of all time. It's that good.
Yeah, man. Like hearing Colt, I was just sitting in party chat, just Colt kept talking about. I wasn't gonna buy it because I was like, I didn't think the remaster, was a much of a. I wanted a remake more than anything. Because so what's the point of? No, my time is so limited. But just hearing him, the FOMO was so real that I ended up buying it. And then playing Mass Effect 1, this is the first time I've ever felt this, and this is no cap. I played it and I was just like, this feels like I'm experiencing it for the first time. Like, you kind of know what's happening, but that makes me more excited because I'm excited for that thing that's about to happen. And that has not happened in a while, man.
Yeah. How is that no cap?
Oh my! Of all the things I said, that's what you picked up on. Asa, what about you? Have you been playing Mass Effect?
I haven't. No, I'm probably one of these like younger generation that Cog was referring to. I'm not. No, I haven't played it yet because it's too long. I haven't had the time to play it. I love those games. In terms of which one was my favorite, without the benefit of playing them again, I would have said 1 or 3 in the first place. 1 because it was more revolutionary, because there weren't RPGs that ambitious. And when it came out, if you remember, some people were disappointed because they thought they'd get bigger planets to explore or whatever else. But it was a crazy game when it came out.
Yeah.
2 and 3 blend more in my mind, but I remember thinking that 3 was absolutely perfect until those very final moments. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that's how it'll be again, but I will get to it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What I don't hear a lot of people talk about, but because there's a big resurgence in Mass Effect just as far as the trilogy is concerned, but we have a new Mass Effect in the world.
Funny you mentioned that.
Yeah. Wait, do you know something, Cook? Because I was
No. I don't got no exclusive. This ain't a
I
comment.
was gonna say,
This is just that you actually touched something that I was actually thinking about literally today, and I was watching the trailer for the newest one, and to see, being at the fact that, spoilers, if Liara seems to be in it, and how could they continue the saga, which it looks like they are boldly trying to do. So then you got my mind racing, which one's canon, how do they do it, do they bring Shepard in, like it, or it's just really cool, and it's going to be ambitious. But I rewatched it again, and I caught something I didn't catch the first time, which is when she's going up the hill. Shout out to the cars going by. When she's going up the hill, she's I live by a firehouse and a highway, so y'all gonna have to excuse me.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
But what happens is when she's going up that snowy hill, it's actually a Reaper. It's a dead Reaper. Rewatch it. I could not. Someone in the comments caught it, and I'm like, oh, it's true. So, and then she picks up the remain. You see the N7 helmet. Assumingly, it's Shepard. Rewatch that trailer again, and we know Asari, their lifespan is so long, so it's very interesting. She would be a perfect
1,000 years.
My
so
God.
she's around. I'm excited. I'm excited.
You guys are getting me excited.
Yeah,
they're sorry live for 1,000 years. Wait, Ace is playing it right now. I'm gonna try and pick it up.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the end. What he's talking about. You'll see somebody going up snowy hills here in a second.
Yeah, it's.
Did you pick up on the Reaper thing, Cole?
No. Cog's teaching me stuff every day, like he always does.
That is, oh man. See, this is the thing, man. The
Ace got it.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Here we go. Look,
so
that
everyone
is a
thinks
Reaper.
this is Liara.
That's a Reaper.
That's a Reaper.
Can you scrub back after this little section here, Asa?
No,
because that looks like a
see.
Quarian to me at first. But you've definitely got the N7 helmet, which I've got sitting over here. Oh, there you go. That's right.
Look at the freckles.
That's Liara.
We know those freckles.
That's Liara. Yep.
Yeah. Liara's lit, bro. I wasn't into Smurfs, but
Savage.
Oh man!
Yeah, look at the shape.
Well,
Look at the shape.
look at
That's
that,
a Reaper
that.
shape. Yeah.
How
It's
did I not clock that?
I didn't catch it either. Someone in shout out to the person in the comments. I
People
can't
are
take credit.
crazy.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
hardcore.
it's already lived for a long time. That is so.
Look how beautiful that is. The magic, the chat was talking about Andromeda. We don't want to make this a Mass Effect show for sure, but the chat was talking about Andromeda. You just don't get that magic that's in the 3 games. None of it really carried over to Andromeda except for the combat. The combat ramped up, but like, I don't know. I played the whole Andromeda experience like 50, 60 hours or something. Yeah, it just doesn't hold up.
Yeah. That. Oh, man. But see, how do you reconcile? I know we're not gonna make the Mass Effect show, but you got me hyped now. The 3 endings, and I think it's a little bit late for spoilers, guys. If you haven't played it, right? It's been like God knows how long it's been. The 3 endings, if you walk past, because all 3 endings are pretty mad. One of the endings, Shepard gets to control something.
Control, destroy, and what synthesis?
Synthesis. When like how those endings are so mad.
Yeah.
How do you reconcile though? Then we'll find out. I guess.
We'll find out. Yeah. I mean, there's some theories going on, but yeah. I mean, it depends. It depends if they want to continue, the Shepard saga and truly make one of those endings canon, where he lives. So they've got potential here. They really do, to really extend it. The question is going to be, they got to do the fan service. And here's the thing I thought about a bit. We were talking about, save data. A perfect marketing ploy would be, remember, you just got the trilogies, you just ended, right?
Yeah.
There's your next gen save data for those who have replayed, so that if they want to market the next Mass Effect and import decisions, the opportunity is there too. I don't know if they'll be that ambitious, but I'm just saying.
Oh man, I kind of regret playing it on PC now, because I'm going to move to Xbox soon, and as my primary thing. And
Time to make that fem ship. Let's go.
Well, my Shepard looks terrible. I tried to make it look like me, which is probably why it looks terrible. But
you never know. Maybe they can figure out how to get those things cross saves. The industry is moving toward a more approachable way. Like if you're playing the game on Origin on PC, why not allow that save to transfer over through their server onto Xbox or PlayStation? That sort of thing needs to happen.
Yeah, that needs to be more prevalent, man.
Probably have to pay for it on PlayStation, though, right?
Asa with the smoke. What's going on here? Asa, don't surprise me like that. He's turned me on with that kind of stuff. But probably will have to pay for it, or the publishers will do. Yeah, but look, I can talk about Mass Effect for days. Well, Colt certainly can. Every time it's the guys, have I told you how good amazing this game is? He's told me like 1,000,000 times. But look, next gen is here. We're about E3. Hopefully, I don't know if are you expecting, by the way, to see Mass Effect? I don't think no one is expecting to see Mass Effect.
They're well out. Yeah, they're well out.
Yeah, way out. But another EA title that's coming, Battlefield. I'm a big Battlefield guy. I'm a huge Battlefield guy. Only time I stopped, and I don't know, guys in chat, guys and girls in chat, are you guys fans of Battlefield? Do let me know. Fonz in the chat. What's up, Fonz?
See.
Shout out to Fonz. Good old, what a G, man. I was gonna say Battlefield. I kind of teetered off because I don't like the old war settings. I love modern settings.
Yeah, with you.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I love modern day combat, modern day weapons. I love that stuff. But Colt, you've been getting, I mean, Battlefield have been sliding into your DMs recently, and throwing some cryptic stuff your way. And you said you have a few thoughts on what that next game is going to be. Huh?
Yeah, I got a curveball that I went ahead and just took back. But yeah, I guess it appears like the next Battlefield takes place in the very, very near future, or maybe a little ways in the future. But yeah, Battlefield sent me an image of it looked like space clouds and some cryptic stuff and a bunch of redacted things. It sounded like something from Coming Back to Earth. So it did sound like a futuristic Battlefield. And then I saw those screenshots that don't look super futuristic. So maybe the game takes place 20 or 50 years in the future. Which
I think that's what's
I know people are like, what? That's so dumb. But I went back and played Infinite Warfare, the Call of Duty game that's 5 years old or 6 years old. And I really, really liked it. And I thought it was super cheesy when I first saw it, but I really enjoyed it. So I don't know. What an extreme. Like they kept doing these super old caveman battlefields, like taking objective butter.
That was terrible.
And everyone's like, we want a modern battlefield, and then they do extreme, and maybe they're doing a futuristic one.
Yeah.
All I'm thinking is, I bet you people are gonna love it. So I hope so.
Yeah. I'm dying for Battlefield. We need to get a squad up properly, like a full squad of. That'd be mad. But Cog, I would be a little bit disappointed if it was future. I want modern day combat, man.
Okay, you want future. Okay.
Yeah, I had too many, like no space lasers and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, you don't want that.
We got Halo anyway. We don't need that. Will scratch our futuristic edge. But what would you be okay with the space thing? Or like
yeah, I wouldn't be. I'm with you. I would, if you put gun in my head, I want modern. You know what I mean? But I'm not like anti-future. My thing is, I'm just tired of 7 years ago, and I don't want to do bayonets. I don't want any of that no more. Like, I get it. It was a push at the time to go back to its roots, like Call of Duty, and I get that and respect. But we've had our run. Yeah. We want to get back to the modern. Like I love 3 and 4, and even the cheesy stuff. Like remember when 4 came out, it had like Levolution and the building. It was a scripted building event. I like that goofy stuff. Like I was into it. I just like the modern nature of it. And like you said, like Battlefield. I used to be a Call of Duty fanboy for a while, and then my friend was like, "No, Battlefield's the real deal." I'm like, Call of Duty, because I was during the Infinity War, days. I really love those guys that became Respawn now. But I remember Conquest for the first time on next gen, and it was like 32 on 30. You like what? Like everyone's in tanks and this and that. It was just full scale, and I was like, "Yo, this is insane." And I think that's the aspect that Battlefield does so well, and I'm excited that it's just, again, more in a modern setting so we can see what they can do. Yeah, man, like that Conquest mode, like apparently it's going to be getting a tetanus shot for next gen, or it's a cross-gen game, but yeah, they're talking about big scale battles. Yeah. Asa, are you hyped about Battlefield? And also, I was going to ask you about this because you're big brains here. It comes with a lot of responsibility. Me and Colt were talking about this, and we'll actually touch on the cross-gen thing on God of War in a bit. But are you excited about Battlefield? And are you a bit? Do you have some? Are you disappointed that it's cross-gen?
So, yes to everything. Battlefield, I really respect DICE as a studio, and they do incredible things. And all the Battlefield games that I've played are they're just amazing. The scale of it, the stuff going on, the tanks, the destruction, and all the rest of it. And I look at it and I go, wow, this is awesome. And I'm not having any fun. I don't have fun with them. And I want to say that with the greatest of respect because they're an incredible studio. But my Battlefield experience is I run across a map for like 5 minutes, get sniped, choose where to spawn. Yeah, okay. There's some tanks. Throw my stones at those tanks. Oh, I'm dead again. Okay. And then I can do that again, or I can go and make a sandwich, and it doesn't make much difference to what actually happens in that battle. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it because even though it's cross-gen, and yes, I am kind of disappointed, but not surprised that it's cross-gen. I don't think anybody can expect third-party publishers to push a next-gen exclusive. That's never been the case. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to it as a tech showcase more so than as a game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Hopefully we can change your mind if you squad up, because
squad up. You can't be running around outside that by yourself. I know the feeling because that was my experience too at first. I was like, I didn't know what I was doing. And like, you have to squad up.
100%. You have to squad. I think it will change your experience. But I think the cross-gen thing, and Christopher Hart is asking, it's cross-gen. Yes, it is cross-gen. And I made a video, like one of the source segments. I said I want it to be fully next-gen, and I think that is a game that will be held back a bit, because that is a game, DICE always push the barriers with physics. So with the new CPUs and GPUs, whatever, CPUs mostly, the stuff with the physics could be crazy. Game design will suffer as a result with Battlefield, but it's early days. I'm just happy to have another modern day, hopefully, Battlefield. So it's going to be mad one. But speaking of cross-gen, guys, hey man, this week was dominated by Source. Look, I don't create. Okay, I do create Source, but the news creates itself, and the inevitable happened. Sony, the nail in the coffin in this narrative. Cog, I'm going to you because you're just shaking. I'm gonna make sure you
gonna make me talk about the Source. You're like, no, you ain't gonna dance with it. You like King. You like, no, we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah. Good luck. Oh man, your show tomorrow is gonna be mad. I can't wait for that.
He's in his bag. I already heard some pre-show stuff. He got a sermon tomorrow.
I can't wait for that. I'm actually so hyped for it. But you know what? Hey man, listen, Cog. Look, he's right. I'm right. We're all right. Look, that is it. Okay, let me pose as a question more as a statement because that's unfair. Sony said they believed in generations. Sony kept quiet until 2 days ago or 3 days ago about God of War and lumped up the fact that it got delayed, which was inevitable. I don't know why they even announced it in the first place because no one believed it. But the cross-gen thing, I want to talk about that first before the delay. Do you not feel like it's disrespectful for that to be talked about?
No, you on it. It's deception. I mean, we just got to call it what it is. It's just not being transparent and honest. That's just all it is. Again, when the next generation consoles both arrived, and we heard the philosophies of both, and Matt Booty kind of got ahead of it. Especially, I believe it was Halo Infinite was kind of the first trigger to kind of all of this. In a sense, he's like, hey, we're going to still be supporting the older hardware. It's going to be cross-generational. And Xbox took a lot of flack. They took a lot of flack for that, even they were transparent. But, and the argument, which I understood, I'll be clear. I understood the argument was like, hey, we want to see next generation hardware pushed. So I don't know if it was an issue where Sony felt, they saw the reaction that Microsoft was getting and figured not to, or they, just being deceptive, because at the end of the day, when you come out, you make statements, we believe in generations, and that definitive, detailed statements, like if you go through all the trouble of making this hardware and this dual sense and all this, like they were very descriptive. So this appeared to be the mission statement, then to slowly find out Miles Morales, and then you have to find out after the fact, right? You have to find out in the blog post. You have to find out here, and that's the frustrating part, because again, there's nothing wrong with it if that's what your intentions, but you kind of let Xbox go out there, die on the stake. Then their fans were upset. Fans were very upset, and there was a big thing. And Colt laughed at this. I remember like people looking at Miles Morales and saying, "You see, that's an example of the PS5 being pushed to the limits, and this is
not held back."
Yeah,
not held back.
The picket fences were out, and I felt bad for Microsoft because they had to take that on the chin, and it actually was a great marketing move. I was like, you know what? Sony has a good philosophy difference here. Maybe they appeal to something, but as the layers reveal, and then we get the infamous, God of War announcement, and I'm like, wow, and the Horizon and all this other stuff. And look, we get it. Business-wise, we understand, but it's not being transparent, and it's just not being honest. And my feeling is, my last statement is just, I wish, instead of defending your brand all the time, you can say, hey, you could voice your displeasure, say, hey, I wish you guys were transparent about this. This wasn't cool. This is what you said. And now all of a sudden, and they really haven't got ahead of it. They just kind of, it's always like by the way, this is going to be PS4. You have to find out later, not in the marketing. So it is what it is. The source is here, and they got to deal with it, man.
They have to. They have to be reminded. It's just why, the source is a fun take on console warring, but I don't think my frustration on it came out on camera as much, because you hit the nail on the head there. You're right. It's dishonesty, and business is business, but we're going to see through that. Colt, you mentioned I was actually against this when me and Aces heard this. I was like, I like Sony's approach, and not held back. And Colin Moriarty, shout out to him, but he felt pretty affected by it. Yeah, affected by it, and I don't, because I'm with him. It's like because he wanted, but you're not with him. And
I'm not with a lot of you guys on this one. I feel like I'm all by myself on this argument. I truly feel like Miles Morales, Horizon Forbidden West, and God of War Ragnarok are not held back by the PS4 whatsoever. I am a believer in developers have a scope of a game that they try and fulfill, and they create incredible, amazing games the best way they can with the hardware they know is out there. And PlayStation developers aren't building for PC, but like Battlefield is being built for incredible PC builds, and let's just say a minimum spec is middle of the decent PC. So for them to say, I think it just basically comes down to Sony lied to their fan base.
Yeah.
So we agree.
Because they knew,
we do agree.
because Insomniac, yes, we do agree on that. Insomniac and Sony Santa Monica know that they were going to build a PS4 version of that game. But I think Sony told those studios, we're going to hold off on the messaging. We're not quite sure how we're going to say this yet, because we've kind of alluded to, there's two parts of this. They alluded to that the PlayStation would be clean and cut. Jim Ryan used words like clean and cut, and that they would give them a special treatment and special experience you can only get on the PlayStation 5. Also, the reason why they did that is because Xbox came out upfront, transparent and honest from the get-go, 6 months before the Xbox Series consoles came out, and said, we're going to support the Xbox One with our games for the first 1 to 2 years, and the media chewed their rear ends up and down for months over it. Sony did what Sony always does. And Sony does things great, and their marketing is phenomenal. And I wish Xbox was better at marketing, but to lie and go, oh, okay, like they saw somebody put their hand in the cookie jar, and they're like, well, nobody saw me having cookies, so I'm just going to keep quiet. And I think that's exactly what they did. Their marketing, it was all marketing. It has nothing to do with engineering or developers or anything. It was all marketing that said, let's stay quiet on this cross-gen thing. And they really did wait till the last moment and go, like you said in your Sauce video, guys, Miles Morales is coming out to PS4.
Yeah,
they just they threw an issue on there, like
to the side.
Yeah, like they're like we're ashamed to say we're going to support the other console. And you know what ticks me off is you got the PlayStation diehards that are like, not held back. But Miles Morales is one of the most incredible looking and feeling games on the PS5. Like, what is held back? I just think I'm just tired of that narrative. And I'll just end it by saying Sony lied.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't disagree with what you're saying about the notion of being. I support the cross generation, the stopping it there, because I want to see unhindered games. But game design, and the scope of what you're building, it feeds into that, which is why Battlefield, I think, is a prime candidate for a game that might be held back. Asa, I just want to double back to you on this. I know you enjoy my theatrics, but not always approve of the messaging behind it. But I agree with Colt. Colt makes a great point about this marketing. It's just marketing. But have Sony gotten away with this quite lightly, in your opinion? Because in my opinion, from my optics, Xbox really they got raked through the coals.
Oh yeah, they got dragged.
Yeah, they got dragged, and I just don't see that happening with PlayStation. Not as much, or as much as it deserves.
I don't want to take time, but let me just add this before Cog talks. They said that Xbox is robbing the next gen feeling. Those were the articles. So go ahead.
Yeah, you're right, Cole.
Hey, so sorry, before I go on to you, I really the super chat is scrolling away from me, and I need a better way to go ahead. Wandering Dutch says, "Did I miss the T-shirt memo, Colt and Kaz?" Hey man, I'm trying to find my. Oh, there it is.
Aces.
About the best of hair up. Oh man, this is a bonus right now.
Nice. And I think Ace is wearing the weapon shirt too. Yeah.
Yeah, he is weapons of choice.
Salute.
So I love the Xbox community and all. We're not surprised to know it's because of me, because I'm such a troll. We're not Xbox centric platform, but we are Xbox centric guests, and but the community itself, I love that. Wandering Dutch, you're a big part of that, so thank you so much for the £5 super chat, man. It really means a lot. And I think we'll have some news. But we'll talk about that later. Derek A. I'll ask you this, Cog. Derek A. $5 super chat. He goes, "Thank you so much, Derek." He says, "Do you think you were sold So I'm going. Asa was supposed to.
Yeah, Asa's supposed to do that. Let's get Asa.
Asa, before I can, Derek, I'll come back to you. Asa, what's happening with it? Do you think Sony deserves a smoke? And do you think it's bad?
Yeah, I do. Do you know, I was wrong on something on this, which is, it hurts me. But a few...
What?
Wrong? What?
I'm never going to admit to anything actually. Right,
I got to stop the presses.
In the weeks running up to this, though, when people were saying, like, Sony need to talk more to social media, they're not doing what Microsoft are doing on Twitter and all the rest of it. They need to talk more. They need to talk more. And I said... I didn't agree because I don't think they necessarily do, but I said if they're going to get anyone to do the talking, they should get more out of Herman, because Herman seems a genuine guy who likes his games and knows how to talk to people. And they got Herman to talk, and to be fair to Herman, there's no way to like write that message that people are going to approve of. Like, he had to deliver bad news. But yeah, don't let Herman talk anymore. Just stay silent, stay away. Because what a mess, right? Like, it's people talk about lies and whether the pandemic's had any impact and all the rest of it, and it really hasn't, because this has been planned and the messaging has been there for years. Okay, this has been planned since about 2010 when they switched the PlayStation 4 over to the architecture that it's on, specifically to make it easier to go between generations. If you remember the 360 and the PS3, like us youngsters do, that generation went on for way too long. You had these two behemoth consoles that had sold like 80 million. You had a load of fans that had these consoles for 8 years, and they were struggling. They were like 512 megabytes of RAM. They were struggling, and people wanted new ones. But Sony and Microsoft had audiences of 80 million, and they didn't want to reset it down to 0, because that's incredibly challenging for them and all of their partners, for EA and Activision and everybody else. So they kept that, and they extended it and spread it as thin as they could. And I said, this isn't happening again. We're going to go onto a common architecture, and in future generations are going to be like what we're seeing right now. It's not a surprise to anyone. And it's not news to Sony. They're not like, oh, hang on a minute, we've only sold, there's some silicon problems over there. This isn't going quite as we predicted. It's going exactly as they predicted, and they chose that messaging to deceive people. Which doesn't feel nice, right?
Yeah, it doesn't.
And we had, so when we had David Jaffe on, he said quite pertinently that Jim Ryan's job is not to tell fans the truth. Like, that's not his job description. Don't expect him to. But to a point, hurting fans is going to backfire, I think. But we'll see.
Yeah. I think so. But part of me still thinks like Sony kind of managed to just comparative damage. There isn't enough, which is why Gaz is redressing the balance. I'm doing the Lord's work.
There you go.
Right back. We're back. Derek, sorry to interrupt. You asked, and I want to ask you this, Cog. Do you think that we were sold a bill of goods on the power? This would be a great question for bloody for King David, because I don't know exactly what you would say. But reasonable answer from Cognito, please. And do you think you were sold a bill of goods on the power of the SSD?
I think what it is right now, I think we still haven't seen enough clear-cut examples of it yet before me to go into it and say, it's definitively like some type of gimmick or anything like that. I think we've seen flashes, obviously, with Ratchet and Clank and the way the worlds come in and stuff like that and being able to move. I think those are cool examples of the tech. I think right now, they're still learning the architecture. And then, like we said, when we're in this cross-generational model, which makes sense, right? It does make sense. No one's saying that it doesn't. Again, we're just commenting on the deception and lying to your base and building them up like this platform that you bought can only be done. That's where we're mad at. But as far as, the tech, I think it's still, the jury's still out. We still need to see more examples of it. It's not enough examples just yet. Even in my opinion, the DualSense, which I feel is great, but outside of Astrobot and a few other examples, we still need to see more. We don't have enough tangible, games and evidence to really see it and utilize more. So that's where I'm at with it. As far as, the system and stuff like that, the only thing I will say, again, in credit to Xbox, is that a lot of features that were kind of ridiculed, smart delivery, quick resume, people would say, oh, those are buzzwords, the PS5 does that also, or stuff like that. And then we're coming to see that is not the case. These things are true. We have examples after examples over and over again. So I think that's the issue. Like Asa was saying, again, it's more, look, we understand a corporate guy is going to be a corporate guy like that. We get it. You're in the business of selling consoles to your base. We get it. But the issue is when you make these definitive statements that are proven not true, now you start to eat away at that goodwill. And I think to your bigger question, guys, is the reason why they quote unquote have gotten away with it, because the quality of the games have been so high. They've been so good. So, but after a while, you know, if there's gaps and you don't produce it, there's more of these kind of moments. And then let's be real, the media so far, and in my opinion, it's just outside looking in, seems to be warming up to Xbox this generation. They seem to be saying, hey, this is the console I want to play, you know, my games on and stuff like that. So Sony has to be careful not to just sit on that reputation and their laurels, keep producing and be transparent, and then you'll get right back into where you need to be.
Yeah, well said. Exactly. Like Colt, it's so, like Cog says, the quality that Sony has been churning out has given them the kind of shield to withstand a lot of the flack that they've been receiving. To in my opinion, to a significant degree. But Cog also mentions that the media is starting to warm up to the Xbox a little bit more. Do you see that? Do you see that?
Yeah. I mean, I can see the friction because for a long time, for like over 6 or 7 years, the media has not cared for Xbox for obvious reasons. And now they're really starting to warm up. And when COG says that PlayStation provides this quality, like, I'm not worried in the slightest about how amazing God of War will play and feel or the design of the game because of hardware. We're in this day and age where even an base Xbox One can run an amazing, immersive, incredible game like Red Dead Redemption 2. So really, like, when people want to take the blame and put it on the hardware, or even sometimes when I would put the good faith in the hardware for the Series X, like, it's super powerful, let's see what it can do. Really, it's about if the game is really good. And PlayStation has proven that a game like God of War will be amazing. You don't have to worry about the PS4 affecting that level of quality or the enjoyment of the game, because those two don't really correlate. But Xbox is doing so many things and building so many games with talent that they've got built up into their studio. People aren't ready. Xbox has 23 studios, and a bulk of those people have been working for big AAA studios like Rockstar and EA and Sony Santa Monica even. And people aren't ready for that. They've watched Xbox ride the pine, sit in the dugout, not play their best game, and now they're out swinging. And in 1 week, we're going to see them show so many games that we're going to wonder how we're going to be able to play them all. And I'm not joking when I say that.
Yeah. No, but I hope you're right, though, Colt, because I have been disappointed many times by Xbox, so forgive me. Yeah, and I'm telling you right now, the source isn't exclusive Sony trolling. If Xbox flop, you guys are going to hate me in chat.
I better see them source videos too.
It's coming. It's coming. If Halo doesn't smash, you can use me as an effigy. You can do whatever you want. You can burn my effigies, but I will.
That's what we like. Keeping the source fair. We like that.
Oh, the source is always fair. Even if it's run through a troll like me, I will be ruthless. Asa knows this. I'll be ruthless against Xbox, almost unfairly so, because of that position.
Fair or not, Cognito will hide in the bushes and not comment on the sauce video.
Oh yeah, I'm not built for that. Y'all built for that, bro. I'm old. I want peace on my timeline, brother.
It's funny how there's two videos that King David has featured in the source videos. But I get his consent beforehand, though. So
when you guys are right, you guys get to the sauce. I fully agree with that.
Oh, we love it though. Thank you so much, Dodge, the Dodge Knight. I hope you're doing well, brother. He goes for the £5 super chat. He goes, Microsoft are honest and fairly transparent and get a lot of schloopy for it. I'm just trying to censor words out because Asa says don't swear unless the guests do. Sony uses smoke and mirrors, yet it gets overlooked and forgotten. Hashtag King Xbot. Dodge is a pretty hardcore Xbot, but I think he makes a fair point there about it. And I want that balance to be redressed. That smoke and mirrors stuff isn't going to go in the long term, like Cognitus, you mentioned, Cog, like that. That's going to do damage, and we won't forget. Gamers don't forget. And and you're right about the media thing as well, and between the core sentiments of fan base, it's switching because there's only so much you can withstand. Cloud Practitioner, thank you so much for the $10 super chat, man. It says Xbox Series X cross-gen approach is robbing players of next-gen thrill. Tech Radar. See, I'm glad you pasted that. I think Tech Radar may have done another piece, actually, kind of like berating PlayStation for it, and I think they cited God of War as an example. But
Yeah, I think I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
So at least I think.
No,
but
I
if
did.
I'm wrong.
You're right.
Yeah?
I did see that. Hmm.
Yeah, so at least there's consistency.
Yeah, they
there.
were. 'Cause I did. I was surprised. Oh wow, because I remember what they had said prior.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So that's good. So that's good, though, right? And that lends credence to the point about the
Well,
media
it's not-
trying to take notice.
It's not the same. I mean, their title is God of War Ragnarok delayed to 2022, and it could be coming to PS4. Not shocked at all. And of course, the Xbox. I don't believe in media bias. I just believe in double standard. I'm not going to be dramatic and call it a media bias, but the double standard is the Xbox article from Tech Radar, which is from a different author, probably, right? People have to look at that too, to be fair. And I won't look that up because we're doing the show right now. But the Xbox one was Microsoft is robbing the next gen feeling away from Xbox players. You know, it's like, but what, where's that same energy on this? But I mean, but PlayStation has had a couple of next gen only titles.
Yeah.
Xbox has only had one or two. One really. So yeah.
Xbox had no titles, man. Fix up. Xbox. But yeah, Happy Bomb, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Guys, loved your rap, guys. Thank you, Happy. That was me trying to redress the balance. So hopefully I did that. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And apologies if you had kids or anyone around as we were watching that. Sorry, there's another super chat. Oh yeah, it just glitched out. Dan Lazaro, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Because Cog wants peace until somebody starts arguing. Then my man is sitting in the corner hyping it. I see you, Cog.
It's this thing called entertainment, and when two people go at it, sometimes you gotta let them go. As a host, it's my job to let them go. Sometimes, I can't. They get mad. They're like, "Oh, Cog, stop with this fair and balanced talk. Get out the way." And I'm like, "All right, go ahead, King. Go ahead, Addict. Go ahead, Saul. Do your thing." So that's what I'm doing, Dan. You know what I'm saying?
and you do an incredible job of it. You do an incredible job of it. Honestly, I love your stuff. That's why you've been making moves on Xcast already and
trying
everywhere.
to catch up to Colt, man. Colt's out here, man. I'm trying to keep pace.
Whatever.
Oh man, no, we're in the midst of celebrities, and it's not lost. Thank you, guys. It's good. I want to talk about Gran Turismo 7 though, because that's cross-gen apparently, and it was just Herman Hulst, Acer, just seems to kind of slide it in like it's not a problem. Is Herman Hulst living under a rock? Did he just not get the memo that, oh, hey, we didn't actually tell people that this was a, well, actually, and you talk about deception. This is coming.
This is bad. Yeah, this is bad. I know where you're going.
Yeah, you know where I'm going with this.
Go,
Cog,
yeah,
right?
do what you got to do.
This is bordering on That's not bordering.
It's
on
not even.
misrepresentation. This is misrepresentation.
Mm.
You've got.
He got the receipts, damn. I know it. That boy got the. Yo, you got it ready. I gotta salute y'all. Y'all not playing no games on Game Boy.
Ace
is a beast.
Ace is like if he was a Reaper, we'd be dead. So the reason why Ace is playing that, and you guys need to see if you can clock it. I don't know if this is the trailer that has the wording, but it explicitly says PlayStation 5 exclusive. And Herman Hulst says, "Oh yeah, no, we'll look at cross-gen support. Like we have with Horizon, God of War, GTA. Wait, what? Wait, go back a little bit. What? Gran Turismo 7." And
it's such a good-looking trailer.
Yeah, it looks good.
I love the trailer though. I love the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And racing games always look good, and Gran Turismo 7 will look good. But Acer, that's misrepresentation. That's not cool. That is taking the mic.
Yeah.
I'm just skipping through the trailer to see if it's got that wording. I know the trailer that you mean. I'm not sure this one's it.
There's another trailer. Yeah.
There's another one. I think it might be the gameplay trailer, which is longer, but
yeah. So
it's there. It's there for sure.
There was an article from VGC that dug into it. I've not actually read the whole thing, but I don't know if it's speculative or if they know, but they said that of these cross-generation games, Gran Turismo 7 was a pivot. so it wasn't supposed to be. And potentially this was intended as an exclusive game at the point that they did that trailer, which is why the wording is so fixed. And you'd believe that. You'd believe it in a second if they didn't say God of War 2021.
Yeah. And there's catching up with them though, isn't there?
Yeah, but it's Gran Turismo, so it's going to be in development for like 10 to 15 years with no particular hardware planned for it, and it will come out when it comes out. So it's a weird one. Yeah. They're a studio that's given an awful lot of freedom. Maybe in this case they've been forced to put it back on the PlayStation 4, but it's all this messaging has been bad for them.
That one's particularly was rough because I remember seeing that trailer and saying, PlayStation 5 exclusive, and again, all during that period of them promoting it with that marketing push as to why to get a PlayStation. And we understand there's more PS4s out. We get it. We understand there's a chip shortage. We totally understand that. Just come out and say, hey, we are pivoting. This is a transition. This is what we're thinking about doing now. And if you say that, the blow is less. But the problem people have is, again, seeing what Microsoft went through and then them not being transparent about it. They got to get the smoke. It's just what it is. There's no getting around it. There's no sugarcoating it. It's deception. Right. That's just it.
The thing is, Cog, this is not new to Sony, because I have not forgotten that Killzone 2 demo.
Oh, you going back in it?
Mate.
Going back to the cell processor days? He going in. He got the receipt. The Ace is gonna pull that one up too. Damn. Y'all ready? I like this show. Y'all ready, boy? You're right though. You're right. I was fooled. I'll never forget that E3 because at the time they were talking. Like everybody was talking Halo killer talk. Like this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. And then they kind of doubled down because the media pinched them and said, "Look, is it really?" You know what I mean? And it was like, because listen, we've seen E3, we know the routine, we've seen vertical slices before, right? Yeah. And then you get it, and then it's not the exact representation, but it's close or whatever. Like to this day, I still think that's one of the greatest trailers I've ever seen. To this day, like that thing is amazing. And they, they kind of doubled down. They backed themselves in the corner. Said, "Oh yeah, it's representative of real time gameplay." And we were like, "Oh." And then when you got it and you saw what you had, so. Yeah, I just was talking about this with the guys that are Defining Duke, and I remember that was a moment. So definitely, gamers, what it is, the gaming community is too smart right now. We have evolved. You know what I'm saying? Like you got Colt out here, you got Digital Foundry, you got it's just you can't get away with this stuff. The gamer is too informed, so you pay the price when you misrepresent.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and but. Look, it's catching up to you, Sony. Your goodwill is getting knocked away. The $70 price or whatever, the price hike and all this and that, it's going to catch up. So ultimately, it's all about the games. Colt, for someone who gets regularly berated for being positive about Xbox, you've been, oh my God, Ace has actually managed to pull out the Killzone 2, which looks amazing even by today's standards.
Yo, Ace brought his back. Yo, you got to understand, this right here was so amazing for its time. We were like, yo, and was it like supposed to be like full scale, almost Battlefield style? Like player counts and stuff like that at that time. That was
look at it. Wow. Look at the physics. Look at it. We don't see stuff like this today. It's stupid. No. Even John Carmack, the legend behind software, he had to comment on it, and he did like a play-by-play because I don't think this is real because the player animations aren't like on point. I remember that. You got John Carmack coming out saying that's not real, and Sony didn't say shiz.
Look at this shiz.
What is this? This is crazy. This is better than current gen.
Yeah, man, this is a big deal, bro. I remember, I was like, yo, the PS3 is a monster. I was like, nothing stops the sound. Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, man. Oh, damn.
Good memories, man.
I'm glad we're smarter now, though.
Well, Ace, you're a legend. You're a legend, Ace, for bringing that one on the crates. Wow.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. But well, hopefully we've learned some lessons from that. And then we've got God of War's like delay. I want to give a shout out to Alana Pierce. Alana Pierce is one of the pillars of a community. As a female, I don't want to put the gender thing too much, but because of her gender, she gets so much flack. And because she's very attractive and all that stuff, it annoys me. But I got almost physically enraged when I saw this tweet. I mean, if he can send it to my way, I don't give a damn. But if he sends it to someone else, then it's just like different. And she's got thick skin. But because of the God of War delay, some nasty text to her. And I just want to I don't know, I don't want to bring it up. I was two minds about it because we like spamming the source. Don't want to keep it too serious. But if you're someone like that, just get off the internet, man. Don't need to fire smoke. The whole idea about the source is to make it fun, to make it just like have fun with it. But then it goes too far. And it was, Corey Balog said it's not, the delay is on me and this and that. Don't justify, just tell them to get lost. We respect what you do, okay? And source, like even Jason Schreier, I know he's your friend, by the way. Tell Jason, I'm just joking, by the way. And we'll hug it out at E3 next year. You can't block me in real life. The hug is coming. The hug is coming, Jason. But we do it in a jokey way. And I don't want to throw shade at devs. And we all say, oh, this game looks shit, or this does that. It's horrible to say that as a dev who works on it. As content creators, man. On a lower level, like we create these video trailers, these devs pour their heart and soul out, do something next level. So I just want to shout out to her and just don't take that seriously. I know you won't, but as a community, we need to do better and just slap some sense to them. And Colt, you get this a lot. You get a lot of people make up stuff about stuff that you've done, and you're the nicest guy, but your niceness annoys some fanboys. And
yeah, it does.
Don't cry. But no, it sucks. So, but shout out to Alana Pierce.
Yeah, I mean, if you're writing personal attacks over someone's video game opinion or video game information they're giving out, I always remind people just to take your phone and show your significant other or somebody in your family and just say, look, this is what I said to someone over video games. Then they'll slap the phone out of your hand. Yeah. It gets ridiculous. It really does.
It does. It really does. And it quickly spills out to that. So we've got to be careful. AKW says, can we get her on soon? Man, I would give my left kidney to get her on here. Because she's very busy. That's making sense. But yeah, okay. Well, I want to draw comparisons. We always talk about Halo, right? And Cole, you're a naughty person, man. You've been making some headlines as well. He's receding on the chair. What Halo Infinite? Like, I'm gonna draw comparisons to that. I love Microsoft's transparency. They were so bold to show Halo Infinite in the way it looked last year that they were just, there it is, and they didn't lie about it, didn't put any things around it. But then you said something on, I think, kind of funny. You said that you're hearing, and forgive me if I'm getting this wrong, because I don't want more articles being created.
I said this in my video, not on kind of.
I said no, your video, yeah. I watched your video as well. A great video, 18 minutes long, and I watched it the whole way through. Clearly, my memory's terrible, but Halo might not look as good as, there might not be a gigantic leap that people are expecting. What is it that you were saying?
I mean, I made a really long video, but I only gave each game about 30 seconds of talking time because I had to cover like 25 games. And normally I'm really super careful about how I write my scripts out so everything gets worded correctly, but this one could have done better. But I've been hearing behind the scenes that some of the people who have seen Halo in its current state are like, they're saying things that it's not mind-blowingly different. It just looks improved. And of course, the media is super hungry for that kind of news. Yeah. They want to hear that Halo is having problems or that Halo is going to fail. And I think that's really why that got magnified. That I said that because it's basically a passing comment. I mean, they quoted me, they dictated it from the video, which comes right off my script. So I'm good with that. They quoted me. They didn't misquote me or anything. But I said that those who are testing or seeing the game are saying it doesn't look top tier. And what I meant by top tier, because those are my words, is that this community is expecting to, when Halo Infinite comes out, that you're going to be able to put a screenshot next to Horizon Forbidden West and say, "Ha ha!" and that it's not the same thing. It's definitely not the same thing. I've also said on a podcast, I think I said on RDX on Tuesday, that 343 has this expectation. They want the game to look a certain way, but unfortunately the rest of the world wants Halo to look much better than 4 and 5. And I don't think 343 wants that. They think they want it to feel and look like Combat Evolved. It's like, no, we don't. Yeah, we want the game to go back to its roots, but not the visuals don't need to take a half step back.
Well.
I mean, the game does look good, but it doesn't need to take any steps back. 343 is their biggest studio. There's no excuse for them not to say, we want to make the game bigger, like more open world. You also need to get your graphic design, your visual team pushing the envelope.
100%.
And so I'm hearing that it's not going to push the envelope. But of course, we know from the Waypoint articles, which I've covered in other videos that don't get written about in the article yesterday, that the Halo team has improved all those problems that everyone complained about: pop-in, low textures, lighting issues, and all of that stuff that made the game look flat and didn't pop. So that's where we're at. So,
well, yeah, I mean, like, I agree with the cult here. Like, yeah, fine, go back to the feel of Halo 1, but don't go back to the visuals of Halo 1.
Now, with that classic feel?
Let's go back to Halo 1, boys.
I mean, you know, I completely understand Colt's position. I think there's two schools of thoughts here. It's Halo's in this weird position because it's one of these beloved franchises. Everyone has tremendous nostalgia. You remember where you were, what you were doing when you played it. So there's one camp where I admit I'm a Combat Evolved guy, right? Where, you know, they're going back to the essence, so to speak, right? And you're liking that. It's feeling like the classic Halo that I fell in love with. But to Colt's point, the tech part of me, the techie in me, always wants to push the envelope, always wants to see what the hardware can do and stuff like that. And I think they're in a tough spot because at the end of the day, 1 year from this delay, let's be realistic. What really is going to happen engine wise? Like, I could see them cleaning things up. I could see them fixing things, but what really is it going to be transformative now? It's going to be, you know, so next gen. That remains to be seen. I'm not going there. You know, to me, this is more about cleaning up the issues, refining it, having a solid direction, and making sure this thing ships on time. To that extent, though, I'm not letting 343 off the hook. Like, they have to deliver. They still have to put out a great product. This game has to be fun, you know, so that's where I'm at with it. You know, I think, in my opinion, not to get too doom and gloom, like, this is a big deal for them. Like, this game has to deliver, you know, and if it's not going to deliver on the graphical part, it better be fun to play. It better, you know, we better not have any Master Chief Collection moments. We better, this thing has to really deliver. So, you know, look, I'm pulling for 343, man. I want them to succeed. I don't want them to go away, you know, kind of thing. And I want Halo to be, you know, to be great. So that's where I'm at. You know, I like the class. I'm on the record. When I watched the live stream, no cap, I was like, yo, I'm in. Like, I'm feeling. It's not until obviously the internet gets a hold of it, zooms up on Craig's face, then you start to see, you know, the popping in the back. I'm like, okay, I didn't see that. You know, I didn't notice all this stuff with this microscope on it. But if the gameplay is fun, and it is classic Halo, but it's fun, and they also have some new mechanics and some new depth to it, then I think they'll be fine. They just got to make sure this game plays good, it's fun, and campaign narratively has to deliver. I think it has to deliver.
Man, that doesn't get talked about enough.
That's the issue. It has to deliver a great story, because that was the issue people had with 5. I remember being at E3, watching the marketing between Locke and Halo, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be this epic thing, and you know, the conquering hero, and and I was like, oh, this is a great storyline. And then you get the game, and you're like, they fought, and you got an achievement for like a half a chapter. They fought, made up, and I'm like, this is it? Like, this is man, the multiplayer, amazing. But the story was the issue, and I think that's the key. If they nail that and the gameplay's fine, they'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, how are they going to reconcile Halo 5 story with Halo Infinite? I don't know, but I strongly and I genuinely believe Halo has so much lore. It could challenge the heavyweights like Star Wars. If you've read the books, there's some insane levels of lore there, but it seems like there's a challenge there. But you're right there, Cog. Like, So what's interesting, what you mentioned there is that when you saw the game first without the lens of the
Without the Craig zoom up.
you liked it, right?
Yeah, I was in there. I was like, oh, the grab look. Because again, I'm a Combat Evolve guy. But let me just make this one statement. But here's the other problem 343 has, and this is why I get mad at the Halo community, y'all. The problem I have is like when people like, I don't want ADS, I don't want sprint. And I'm like, come on, guys. So like, we gotta evolve this thing a bit. Like, we 100%. Cannot keep it in this. If you like that so much, there's this thing called Master Chief Collection that you could do all those things that you like. Like, we've got to get some new base involved. There's a generation that did not grow up with Halo. There's a generation that has played with ADS, Sprint, all these things. And we got to bring this in. And I'm just worried that sometimes the base prohibits 343 from doing what they may want to do, and then we regress on certain features that are modern that I feel the game needs. That's just one man's opinion. That's just me, but I feel for them as a studio on that aspect.
Oh, I agree with you 1,000,000,000% there. And I'm a Halo Combat Evolved guy, like day zero. But if you go on the forums, it's things like ADS, aim down sight, for people who don't know what that is, or sprint. People will defend lack of, like, the removal of sprint for the. They'll all die on that stake, and I'm not saying there's an argument there, but you need to let it evolve. So, hey, the 343 team
we need to be able to build like Fortnite towers.
New generation. Oh, hey man, at least they're supporting the Minecraft community based on visuals. Did you see the blocks on the background? It's a sneak preview of what will happen on E3 if Halo does not look good. I'm coming with the smoke. I'm sorry you guys are gonna hate me for that.
No,
please.
You gotta do it though. You gotta do it.
Yeah, the source is unrelenting. Pixelbit, thank you so much for I will go back to your super chat. Sorry, I'm scrolling up there, Edward. But before on topic, I've seen a few Halo super chats. Pixelbit, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Because Halo is going to be a reminder that gameplay is no longer king. Only pretty is game of the year now. Sad state of affairs. What if the AI is amazing? Don't say that. What if the AI is amazing? Oh, please. Oh, if the AI. Wait, hold on, Asa. Halo Combat Evolves AI, that's actually a really good point, is still number one. Like, it holds up. It changed the game, and it still holds up today, which is more, but at the same time, it's praised Bungie, and also throwing shade at the rest of the dev community, because we haven't actually developed AI. It's not the shade of the dev community, it's just the way development has worked. AI seems to have been neglected a bit. But do you think Pixelbit is right that we focus on visuals? And that's good visuals are precursor to being game of the year. Do you think that?
Me?
Do you think so? Yeah.
So there's quite a lot in that one to kind of unpack in general. So AI is a really interesting topic that I could talk about for many hours. And Halo Combat Evolved is a really interesting example when you do talk about it, because the AI, in terms of how intelligent it is, not very, but in terms of how it feels when you're playing, incredible. Okay, and it still is. It still holds up today. You go and play it, and that's convincing. In the background, there's the full AI routines are running on about 2 enemies at a time, and the rest of them have basic subroutines. And there were limits to those consoles. The AI wasn't a supercomputer. It was running on an Xbox, right? But it felt great, and AI has not advanced very much since. But there's questions on how you want it to evolve, because what's important is the illusion and not the intelligence.
Good point. Yeah.
If you have AI, I think we said it never got published. We said in the background, I'm not going to repeat it actually, but about certain people not being able to progress through the games if the AI was smarter than a pigeon.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. You don't want that, but you want it to be convincing. You don't want the AI to be a hindrance. But if you are talking about advancing the AI, it does take processing power. And it is something that the new gen consoles have over the old gen consoles. So if you are going to be talking about a situation where consoles are being held back, AI is one of those areas, because you can't design a game around AI that's running on like a 3 gigahertz processor core, because the old consoles don't have that. So
smart.
Halo Infinite can only have AI from the last generation to avoid having a functional difference between them. Right?
Good point. Good point.
But it can hit that illusion, as Halo typically has done. So high hopes in that sense.
And Halo Infinite was supposed to launch on the current console, and it got pushed into next gen. And yeah, it was. It's been a long time. Been a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't need to. Halo Infinite doesn't need to shoulder the burden of getting AI right, but it's it's a shame. This is why I want the. I think me and you were talking about this, Colt, yesterday on Pusher, that it looks like we'll actually properly see the benefits of next gen in the tail end of this current gen, the tail end of this gen, because there's a thing about the PC market has to make the jump to SSDs and stuff as well. No,
I mean, if you truly believe that you can't make a game next level without the IO speed and SSD, then I guess that's true. Like, I always wondered, like, what did you want from God of War Ragnarok? Like Ratchet and Clank Portals, like.
Well,
was the last game not amazing? But I don't know. You're not supposed to see like the full next gen experience the first year or two.
Yeah,
you never did. And a lot of these games got started in development in 2017 or 2018, if they're five-year development games. So you'll start seeing some next level stuff that's like, wow. After the first year, I remember playing Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, and I mean, it was kind of a last-gen game, but it had some things that made it amazing, and the Nemesis system was one thing that couldn't be done on last-gen hardware. So that was like, wow, this is a cool experience. I don't know, it's kind of weird to think what's making that possible, but it's a great game, and you'll see that. It just takes a year.
Yeah, it does. But Gunstar's right. £5 super chat, thank you so much. Just blame the Slip Space trailer, not the fans, for setting expectations. Cognito, he's right though, man. It's
He's
3
right.
for 3. 3 for 3 to get.
It's on them to deliver, man. I cannot dispute that.
Yeah, and it's we've got a workable example right there of what it's doing.
Well,
Reflections,
Gunstar.
grass.
I'm sorry. Gunstar means the Slip Space engine was. They used the engine, and they had a third-party studio create a 2018, I think it was, trailer. Mm-hmm. And none of that is going to be in the final game. So Gunstar means blame that, because they made this beautiful thing that the engine is capable of, but that's not what the game's going to look like. And that you don't do that. That's not truthful to do that.
Oh, so this third party thing I didn't actually clock. So there's another third party actually built it off that same engine.
Yeah, that's what I heard, or I guess maybe that's what they were reporting. Yeah.
Joanna Dark, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, hello, gentlemen. Do you see a scenario where if Halo Infinite doesn't deliver, Microsoft, just the thought of that, Microsoft gives it to another studio and maybe moves it over to id Tech? I don't know about that when they have a 10-year plan for what Halo Infinite's going to be about, and my migration to another studio and a different engine just doesn't seem realistic to me. I just don't see that being workable. But I think Asa, we talked about id Tech, right? Like the movement there later on. Can you? This whole everyone was really excited about the Bethesda acquisition by Microsoft and this whole shared technology thing. Do you think it's possible? Do you think it works that way technically, or the id guys can sit with 343 and say, "Hey, look, you might want to add some, I don't know, shader falafels." I don't know. You're the tech guy. Do you think there's going to be like a cross-pollination between engines and stuff like that? Doesn't know how it works, or it's just knowledge? Or...
Yes and no. So for Microsoft, the studios that they use there are the Coalition, and particularly Turn 10. So Turn 10 are known for Forza and their racing games, but Turn 10 are also their DirectX experts. So it's
okay.
I'd expect that Turn 10 are talking to all of those studios. They're almost like Sony's ICE team that go around and help everybody out. Yeah. But you can't port id Tech, like you can't pull the best bits and put them in another engine very easily. And like you said on Halo Infinite, it's not likely that with its 10-year plan they'd port that particular game over there. The future of the Halo IP, though, and what happens with the next iteration, whether they choose to carry on supporting it for 10 years, I guess that's all up in the air. But I can't imagine it's going to be so disastrous that they're going to write it off. I mean, they kept Sea of Thieves going strong up to this point, and people hated that. So I imagine Halo Infinite will get good post-launch support regardless of what state it launches in.
No, hopefully in a good state. Shout out to the 427 people watching. Smash that like button, guys, if you're enjoying the chat. Yeah, hit that like. Thank you so much for joining us. It means a lot. Dead Planet, thanks so much for the $10 super chat. Halo Infinite, thousands of people working on it just for it to still possibly under-deliver is BS. Remember, Coalition and other XGS are losing dev time on other projects to help this damn game. That's a strong word from Dead Planet. But he's right though, no? Like that.
Yeah.
It has to smash. And he's right, but that's a good point about people being pulled off from other teams because we're hearing about that.
There's a lot of pressure there. There's a lot of pressure. They have to deliver. They felt, the result of the initial reception, by it. And, it's all hands on deck, so to speak. But to your previous question, I do feel that there will be some repercussions. I don't think it's like, I think it's what Ace said. I don't think you can fundamentally change his 10-year plan and slips plays there. That's kind of built in. But I personally feel that if it doesn't deliver, we may have to look at, or there may be leadership changes internally, structurally, remanagement, and that's just how things go in the nature of the business. If it does have, some type of not critical reception at launch. So we'll see.
Yeah. Definitely heads will roll. And it sounds pretty,
for sure.
Harsh, but they should. They will. They should. It's horrible for me to suggest someone should get fired. But Edward King, thank you so much for the £5 super chat. It says Jez Corden said on Discord. Shout out to Jez. Get a camera for God's sake, so you can come on our show.
Camera gang, where you at?
Camera gang. That's why dealer's not allowed until he gets a camera. I made an exception for him twice, and every guest now is like,
gotta get grandfathered in, yo. He gotta get grandfathered. He OG. But I'm with camera gang, though. I'm with
camera gang, 100%, man. Camera gang. But shout out to dealer, man. Edward King says, Jess Gordon just said on Discord that there's a good chance of at least one acquisition being announced Xbox Showcase.
It's just not as exclusive?
He says they have also bought the IP. What is he talking about?
When did Jess say this? Well, how recent is this? It's just now?
Yeah. Edward, can you just let us know when that
I can get it for you. Hold on.
Find out what Jess talking.
You're everywhere. Look at your tentacles have spread.
Let's go.
Today. He said it today or yesterday.
That's big. That'll be big. That'll be big.
Gaz, you always talk about you're swimming in the sauce.
Yeah.
Jez is the sauce.
Jez with those sensual, man. That's the whole
Jez, man like Jez. Right?
And he's always at work, man. He's always it's a all day 24/7 job for him to celebrate this thing we call gaming, man.
Oh yeah,
he's always out there doing the work.
Love it. Everyone watching that, clap Jez, tweet him and says, get a camera, get on, go live. He's been dodging us for
that would be huge, brother. That'll be huge. That's a huge acquisition. That gets excitement up, man. You got me hyped now because I wasn't sure. Like if Jez is saying it, I'm gonna trust that one. So I can't wait. The possibilities now, like what could it be, right?
Oh man, Edward, what are you doing to us? That's good. It's good that you said that. I think that was the super chat I was holding off on. Oh wow, what a super chat to hold off on. But yeah, oh my God, that my mind starts going wild about the Kojima, man. Woo! What if Kojima happens? Forgive me, God. I will. The source video is going to be so raw.
Crazy. I already know.
You guys need to pay protection for that. What am I saying? Where is the super chat? Yes, Lucius Augustus, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I don't want to see next gen. I want to feel next gen. So far, nothing feels next gen. There are some indie games that feel superior to AAA games. I actually agree with you on the indie point. But the feeling. Do you have a PlayStation 5 though? Because that controller feels good.
I want to know if they're after the feeling. I want to know if they've got a PC already, or if they're talking about the transition from the previous gen consoles. Because I think if you come from a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One, it does feel different already.
I agree. When I was on PC and I told my Xbox One and PS4 brothers, I was like, when y'all experience NVMe for the first time and these frame rates, y'all gonna understand why I'm playing Destiny and all this stuff over here on PC, and then I'll come back with the Series X and everything. And now they understood. I got ridiculed. They were like, "Oh, you abandoned it." I'm like, bro, until you experience that fidelity, those frame rates, and really NVMe, it is really a game changer with loading times and just the things you could do. And it's transformative, man. That's why I love my Series X PS5, just for those reasons alone. Love it, man.
Yeah, I'm moving from PC and I've got NVMe drives. But and I forgot to mention this point that you touched upon this really good point about smart delivery got mocked, and then we know how that turned out. Yeah,
It's a marketing term. Everybody does that.
Even my good friend Rand told me, Colt, because I made a video talking about some of the features I made like this video that covered like 5 main features, like VRR, smart delivery, FPS boost, and a couple other things. Like this is what the next gen experience is on Xbox. And Rand's like, Colt, you know that smart delivery is just a marketing term. Like, it is. He goes, it's just one of those things that they're saying, like, look, we're trying our best to make sure you guys play the right version of the game. That's all it is. And I'm like, oh, well, I thought it's a really good thing to do. And then after this stuff starts coming out and the PlayStation 5's had these problems, Rand's like, sorry, man. You're right,
He owned it, though. He owned it.
Quick resume, yeah.
He owned it. No, but quick resume.
Full stack says in the chat. Quick resume, like that's another one. They're like, I don't need. I see people say it all the time. Damage control, like I don't need quick resume. Like, yeah, you don't have it. You don't. I mean, you don't know what you don't know what you need. Yeah, it's amazing. No, that's cool.
I wanted to double down on what you said because I saw some Twitter back and forth with you, with some fans trying to say, like, I guess kind of saying that quick resume is easily replicated on PC. And,
oh my gosh, bro!
Yeah, you really broke it. You really broke it down. And I even did some digging behind the scenes just to to find out. And it's not the same. Like you said,
they could do virtual machine and stuff,
right.
and they could do
right.
save state caches. Like I'm sure Asa could talk about this way better than I can. And I know there's something that you could do if you bust your rear end and try to replicate something like quick resume, but like you're not just. You don't do anything. You just turn on your Xbox and 5 to maybe 12 games are holding in pause in the background, taking 0 resources.
Right.
And for PC guys were like, we have Alt Tab, you failed. I'm like, consoles,
we have Alt Tab.
Consoles have had Alt Tab for like 12 years. Like, why are you disputing this? I mean, I'm not even bashing PC. I'm just saying that how great Quick Resume is.
Even from a power off state and firmware update,
right?
That is crazy.
You still, like I said, the only thing the only thing I've seen break the relationship has been if the game itself is going through an update. Then okay, she'll lose the quick resume state.
Yeah.
But PC is not replicating that exactly. There's still a bunch of other factors that have to come into play for it to replicate quick resume exactly the way the Series X does it. And like you said, Colt, virtual machine and all the other stuff, and it's just not as simple as Alt Tab. And, that stuff.
I mean, not only if you restart or if you do a Windows update on your PC, not only will your game not still be there. Your save state, your game might be gone when Windows screws you over from an up. I'm always nervous when I do a Windows update. Windows is so dicey sometimes, but it's all jokes, and it's such a little thing. Like it's such a quality of life. Quick resume. It's not something to go grab the yellow PCMR flag and try to hit me over the head with it. I have a PC sitting right here. It's always there. Use it every day. I was playing Crysis 2 on it last week. Just come on, take it easy.
Shout out to Alt Tab Gang.
Hashtag Alt Tab.
Hashtag Alt Tab. Master Race. That's what we doing. That's what we doing. We're making the sauce on this one.
What a stupid point, man. There's no. I play on PC. You telling me Alt Tab between 2 games? I'm nervous with Microsoft Word running in the background.
Okay, bro. But I think it was just this sensitivity. I think for PCMR at that time, didn't like your Xbox guys kind of had the chest out, but it was a real feature. I tested it. Research and it's legit. That's always saying. PC guys, calm down. It's all good. Everything else is amazing. With your 3090s, you're good.
The problem is Colt, because Colt, for some reason, despite being nice all the time, people don't like that.
Well, he dislikes misinformation, and I actually respect that about him. Like,
100%.
When something is wrong, factually wrong, then I respect someone correcting it, and he does it in a nice way. He's not like being disrespectful or whatever. He just coined it. No, exactly. This is not exactly the same, and he's using the points, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't know how you do it, Cole. You must have a peptic ulcer from holding up all the stress, because I want to fire shots at people, but you're very respectful with that. And then when I saw that stuff, I'm like, are you dumb, man? What are you talking about?
When people try and correct me on something that they're wrong on, and then they use the word moron or clown, I mean, I used to go, what the crap? But now it's just like, block.
Yeah.
You're not, that person's not ever worth talking to ever again, or ever ever hearing their voice on social media. I'll block them immediately. They're not rational.
You're so good with that. If someone's firing personal attacks just to make a point, then you just go out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But I'm following the Lord's parable, 5 rules, and it's off with your head.
Oh yeah, off with your head. I look at that before I even respond. I look at the last 5 to 10 tweets. You console warring, you being disrespectful, you attack this person, you out of here. We ain't got nothing to talk about because I already see what type of time you on. You're not here to talk games. You're doing something else.
Cog, if you check my last 5 tweets, it's going to be nothing but Mass Effect screenshots. I hope that's going to be okay with you.
You good. As long as it's 2 and 3, I'm fine.
I'm fine as long as Miranda Lawson's in those pictures.
Easy. That's why they made that patch for you, sir. And you know what patch I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Too much sauce with you and Miranda. They had to shut you down.
That's fine. It's fine. They blessed me with photo mode, so it's all good.
Thanks. There you go.
I'm a terrible human being.
Workarounds.
Dead Planet, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. It says, will Xbox have different games news for E3 than SGF? Well, is that Summer Game Fest? I don't know.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. What's happening with that call?
So all we know is Xbox is representing at Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest, right? So we are all wondering what they are going to do for that. And there's a rumor. Are you ready for some spicy sauciness?
Oh, here we go.
There's a rumor that Jeff Keighley wants Kojima. Yeah, Kojima-san. At the Summer Game Fest. So it's not. So the rumor is that Xbox's representation at E3 is going to be Kojima related, which is a bombshell. Total bombshell. Yeah. But I don't know. It's all speculation. It all comes from little whispers. And it's probably just something that people make up because Jeff Keighley will be wearing a nice slim fit suit.
Jeff Keighley reps it really well. Shout out to him. But he loves Kojima. He probably just wants to have a Death Stranding baby with Kojima, bro.
Yo, Dad on in the chat. I told people that's the secret weapon, man. Phil is playing chess. If they do some type of Kojima studio acquisition, that's how you play chess, man. When you get Kojima, you get Jeff by proxy. You win all the Game Awards. I'm telling you, bro. That's the play. I said this. I clipped it too. I was like, "That's the thing. That's deep thinking, man. You gotta play this game. You gotta play dirty, man. Go ahead, Phil. I see you."
But if that happens, Cog, mad shout out to you because you said that. Put that on blast on Twitter, and I was like, "That makes sense."
Hey, Gaz. Can I read your super? Can I run your show for 2 seconds?
Do it,
this is a good friend of ours, Face 23, Free J Dubs. Like he's pretty active on RDX and helps correct us when we're missing stuff or whatever. But he says Xbox has some cool features, quick resume, back and pat, etc. But that's what Xbox is relying on until they can get the most important thing on their console out, which is exclusive games. So this is a really good comment because we get this a lot if you're Xbox fans because like they haven't had like big exclusive games, like you get 1 a year and PlayStation get like 4 or 5 a year. So this is the crazy part. Like, it's all about perception, right? Because we play, if you're a diehard gamer, you play 20, maybe 30 games a year. And most of those are multiplats. The cool thing about Xbox that is what he's saying is they have going for them is almost every game is better on the Xbox in every way, quality of life, all the way around the ecosystem, the way everything works, the way the hardware works and Game Pass, everything. That's all cool. But this year, starting in July, they're going to start dropping exclusives. They're going to have like 7 of them from July until November, December. So like once you get into that, because they're going to announce everything that they've been working on, but they're going to have these exclusives that come out. They're going to be on Xbox with all of these features that arise above what the PlayStation's doing. So yeah, I think it's okay to be excited.
Oh mate, definitely okay to be excited. This is the time for Xbox to shine, and I hope they smash it at E3. Faith, thank you so much for that $20 super chat, man. That's really generous of you. That means a lot. Lucius Augustus, thanks so much for the $5 super chat. Mass Effect Legendary Edition quick resume is still broken. I wish they would address this.
Yeah,
That being said,
right. He's right. I'm disappointed at that.
But I never turn it off, so
yeah,
I don't know why. I don't know why. Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not suffering from this because honestly, I won't launch another game right now. But yeah, they do need to fix that, and I don't know why it's not there. Hey, shout out to Miles, by the way. Miles Napier.
Miles,
Oh, salute the legend.
the legend of Miles Napier.
ASMR. My guy.
ASMR. I love
ASMR.
Come on, Miles. That's the console whisperer.
ASMR Napier.
That video does not get enough.
I love that video.
Yeah, I love that.
I gave him an intro with that.
Yes. Yeah, that's wicked that you did that. But yeah, so that's not cool, isn't it? Like, even though he does say it takes 10 seconds to gain back into the game, that's good.
Yeah. I do. I want my Mass Effect quick resort. You get spoiled, right? It's such a cool quality of life feature. You really get spoiled. And now with the update, now that I can see which games are in my quick resume queue, I love that stuff, man. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Carlos Jarl with the soul sticker. I keep forgetting we have these dang stickers there. Thank you for reminding me. But yeah, so we've talked about, well, kind of in a roundabout way, but we've taken about the E3 predictions, guys. This is the whole show was supposed to be about this. Cog, shout out to Mav, by the way. Mav's got a really good video he's working on.
Work with the whole community.
Yeah, he got the whole community down, and everyone, he says because almost everyone agreed to do it. I love Mav anyway, but it's going to be so funny to see the takes, because Asa filmed his separately to me because I was running late. It's going to be so funny. And I saw you and David.
Jake was going
and Cole's in there as well. All of us are
everybody's part of it. He got the entire community to get part of it. It's really cool.
I respect him, but a lot of work going that way. Anyway, Spartan, thank you so much for joining the Gameondaily Elite family. Thank you so much. You get to see a lot of behind the scenes videos as well, and also behind the scenes of the Source video, because what you saw behind the scenes is a lot worse than what you saw on camera. I almost went to the hospital. But yeah, it's quite bad. Thank you so much, man. It means a lot. It keeps the lights going, because I promise you, the next Source video I've done the intro. It's probably my best one. It's for you guys. Thanks so much. The support means a lot, man. It means a lot. But I was going back to sorry, I was getting distracted. E3 predictions, Cog. What's the sauciest prediction that you have for E3?
The sauciest. Well, we got one out, which Jez already talked about. I think that, I think Obsidian's gonna have more of a presence than people think. I think. Yeah, I think that they've got a lot going on. They've got a lot of projects, and I know probably the safer stuff would probably say, "Oh yeah, Grounded" and stuff like that. But I think they're cooking. They seem to be. I get the impression that before the acquisition, they were kind of in a state where they were kind of developing things and chucking things out with a certain cadence. We know they have a secret project. We know about Avowed, Outer Worlds and stuff like that. I think we start to see something from them, as far as one of those major games that they're working on. And I'm excited because, again, they've broken free now from Private Division, and we were blessed to have them on when they were doing Outer Worlds.
Respect to that.
Yeah, thank you. Much love. Megan, she's amazing. The whole team. And I admit I am a big Obsidian fanboy. I think that's like if we're doing sports teams, like to me that was the number one free agent acquisition pre Bethesda.
Okay,
As a person who's a hardcore RPG guy, love those type of great narratives type stories. They got that in spades, and I think they are going to show something. And maybe it's Avowed, maybe it's something with Outer Worlds. Maybe the next one might be more ready than some people think. And I'm hearing things. I'm hearing Obsidian, might be that. And then the other thing I would say, maybe I'm hearing rumblings. Maybe I don't want to go too crazy, but I'm hearing rumblings that maybe Fable might get Seed. So again, don't want to put it out like Cog definitely said it, but I do hear rumblings, and it will be interesting to see, you know, with those especially, because that would give, I think, the base a little excitement for things they weren't thinking that they were going to see, and then they actually appear. Like, oh wow, okay, cool. So that's what I'm going with right now. Those are my little spicy ones that I'm rolling with.
Those are spicy, man. Because you know what? This is a testament to how many studios Microsoft has.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about Obsidian because Avowed and Fable, people aren't expecting those, but they'll be a big bonus. Like, even if you show 5 seconds of gameplay, man, don't do that. But I actually did that. It'll be like, oh wow, we didn't expect to see Avowed, like or Fable. Like, that's spicy.
It'd be nice. It'd be spicy.
Wandering Dutch, thank you so much for being a member. Joining the Gameondaily
midweek mix-up.
Midweek mix-up.
Love those guys. Salute.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Braps in the chat. Shout out to him as well. How you doing, man? Stop.
No
Kane
mega
is in the chat. Kane Production is the guy. Everyone edits their own videos. Asa does his own dank tech analysis. I do my silly source videos and all that. Kane Production is the guy who does our montages, and he's going to be working on an E3 montage if Microsoft shows some games. So shout out to him. He's one of the most talented people in the industry. His montages. He's part of the Gameondaily family, but it's like I don't who comes close. Thanks. So shout out to Kane, man. Can't wait to see your work. Colt, please go extra spicy so some more articles can be written by WCCF.
Yeah, you know they on it. They be like, yo, YouTuber, trusted source called Eastwood.
I know you know some stuff because I know some stuff because I talked to you. Got to do it.
Spell it.
Yeah, I mean,
no.
Narrow it down a little bit. Are we still talking about Obsidian or what?
No, like E3.
I mean, there's a ton. Cog was talking about Outer Worlds. Like if they're working on something besides Avowed, I can't imagine how far along they could be. They've got a dozen people working on the final release for Grounded. They're working on Avowed. There's another thing they're possibly working on. Like in my video, I said an Outer Worlds 2 announcement. I was talking with the Snowbike Mike and Gary Witt on Kind of Funny XCast.
Shout out to that.
For those that saw it today, it was yesterday we did the show. We were talking about how some of Xbox's biggest games aren't going to be shown till next year. So they should have planned ahead. And I don't think they did do this, but they should have planned ahead to do another representation of each of the games. Like if they're not ready to show Hellblade gameplay yet, they should show another presentation of Hellblade and Fable and Perfect Dark and Avowed. And State of Decay 3. Like there's so many games, it's hard to keep track of them. There's a bunch of AAA. I think State of Decay 3 is supposed to be AAA this time around. So they have a bunch of these games, and they're not right. Cog talked to them on his show. They're pushing AAA this time around for 3.
Oh yeah.
So they have all these games.
Doing that? Is that what they're
yes.
doing?
Yeah. And Xbox has told me they don't like showing gameplay until the calendar year of release, because there's too many problems associated with trying to pretty up the game when it's too early, or having the game not ready, or putting the team on building a vertical slice of gameplay when they should be working on finishing the game. So if they're going to show their big 5 blockbusters that are coming out in 2022 or 2023, we won't see them till next year. But we think that they should be showing a representation of them, have them represented at E3 somehow. And I thought for Fable, the environments are probably ready. So show a fly through of some of the different parts of Albion, or whatever they're going to call the new area, and the different seasons, the different flora and fauna, and just do a fly through and just say all in engine on Unreal Engine 5, Playground Games presents Fable coming soon. And make a 1-minute trailer and then just do that. Get your environmental team on that to build that. I don't know if that's going to happen though. I haven't heard any whispers of those 5 big games making a showing at E3.
Yeah, that would be mad. That would be. You see, the State of Decay. I want to go back to that. Them being AAA, because that's the thing that was stopping. I think I actually really like State of Decay, and I think there's so much scope in that game.
Yes,
another game on PC. Can you imagine code a AAA State of Decay?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even too when we had Undead Labs on ILP, I remember I was like in my feelings. I was like, because the deal just happened at the time. Like, like as far as the Microsoft acquisition of Undead Labs. So the announcement was good, and they hit MPD. They were riding high. But I remember the co-op, and I was like, man, I love the concept. But I'm like, why are you tethering me to like a certain little circle? And shout out, we had Richard Fogey and those guys, on it, and they were like, look, that at the time, that was the hardware constraint, right? From a CPU standpoint and a memory standpoint, they were talking about it. So now the prospects of them with a budget, with a bigger scope, like I cannot wait. Like I am Jake and all. I am a huge State of Decay. Even like I think me, you, and Dealer played one time, Cole. Like we got some co-op action going on back in the day. Man. Yeah, man. So I'm super excited for them, the future of them with Microsoft backing and taking, they could take their time, you know what I'm saying? But I can't wait to see that thing. I'm with you.
Same with you, man. It's just like State of Decay, like a massively, like, I know it's not going to be massively multiplayer, but imagine like the whole world and there's like Walking Dead, different crews.
Yeah, it's like Walking Dead. Yeah, it's like Walking Dead sim, personal way.
It's wicked. Oh man, that is one thing. So it's $2 super chat. The State of Decay is very underrated. Absolutely, it is underrated. And a big reason why is I think it's because of the look of the game as well. AAA.
It doesn't look terrible. Like when you compare it to the first one, it looks a lot better. But it also came out right next to Days Gone, which looks really, really nice and has the production values. Like I want to see State of Decay 3 instead of like a circle indicator saying you're rifling through. I want the character to actually do something besides just go. But you know dang well that it's those little touches all in and around games when like in Red Dead Redemption 2 he pulls open the drawer and moves his hand forward and pretends to grab something. Like it just kind of makes it all feel more realistic. But
no, absolutely.
They can do it.
They can do it. I mean, not with a AAA budget, they can. Ace Out Gamer, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. It says, Colt, tell us about these Twitter tweets we've been seeing about you being an Xbox insider. Are you collecting the sauciest checks from Phil Spencer? Get off his payroll, Colt.
Oh gosh, yeah. That's so funny because Randall Thor, another really good friend of mine, he gets a lot of information and he's able to kind of cue people in on what's coming up in his videos, and a lot of stuff almost everything he says comes true, right? And so he calls me, he's like, they're writing these articles about me and they're talking about me in forums for being an insider. And I'm like, own up to it, Rand. Like, capitalize on it. Build your channel like as someone to go to. Because if people can rely on you with your information, when a Rand video pops up, someone's gonna go watch Rand's video because Rand knows what's going on. And I'm like, why don't you own up to it? And then when they said this about me yesterday, I called Rand, I go, I don't want to be inside.
Now you want it. You want it now.
Now you know what it feels like.
Yes, now I know how it feels. Rand's amazing. Like such a great guy.
He broke so many stuff. And I remember, like I said, we had him on, and at the time, that was the big controversy with, I believe, PlayStation games possibly going to PC. Mm-hmm. And people were like, "Oh, they would never do that. They don't want to devalue the brand of the IP." And he made a bold statement at the time. I think it was, Horizon. And he's like,
Horizon.
Coming. Yep. He was like, "It's definitely coming." And I remember when he said he got dragged for like a good couple of weeks.
Yeah, he said Horizon Zero Dawn's coming to Steam, and they called him terrible names for weeks, and a liar, and just horrible.
We got to get this guy out of the community, and I'm like, going for my boy. And then he had his moment. As soon as it was announced, I saw that tweet, but I said, Red, you deserve that sauce. You deserve for what you've been through. I was like, that's what I said. I clicked like on that one. I was like, all right.
Oh, you got involved in the smoke.
Normally I stay out, but that one was so just because he really went through it. And I felt for him. I'm like, damn, they're attacking his character, his integrity, and all this other stuff. You know how it goes, Cole. You guys know how it goes, and that's the gift and the curse when you do know things and then you put it out. And what it is, fanboys get emotional about it, and then they lash out. And it was good to see him get his little vindication, his little lap, his victory lap with that one. That
cool. I missed that. I would have loved to see that. That's really good. And and the worst thing is though, and you got to be careful here, Cole. It's not like I'm an expert or insider or anything, but things change as well. So when you may know something, things change. and then you get held to that as well.
Yeah, well, this would be a good opportunity. Like the Dying Light 2 thing. Like I heard from a source that was very sure that Xbox swooped in and helped put some money forward to get that game finished. And so my source said either this game is timed exclusive like they did with Titanfall 1, or Xbox might be buying Techland. And we'd always heard those rumors about them grabbing a Polish studio. And so I made a video about what the sources said. And of course, when that didn't come true and the game's totally multi-plat.
Here they come.
Ooh, here comes the
Here
smoke.
they come. Doesn't know what he's talking about.
And saying, there's been a couple big moments that I didn't get right. And of course, those mean the most over anything, of course, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Can't be trusted. The cool thing was that article, that Tech Radar article, or WCCF Tech was what it was, said that to take what I said about Halo Infinite with a grain of salt, but I have a pretty good track record, which is really nice because we cover a lot of stuff. And of course, you're bound to get some things right, but
100%.
But I don't make certain statements in my videos to kind of cue people in, because I'm not looking to like leak something all out, because I completely understand what that does to the development team, the studios. It breaks their heart to have their big surprise spoiled for them by a journalist or a YouTuber or someone that works in the company that they trust that wants to get 5 minutes of fame. So I try and cue people in, and anyway, that's just how it is. And
that's true.
There's lots of good stuff to look forward to, and I'm hearing there's lots of good stuff to look forward to. So people are like, should we temper our expectations? And I go, well, I think you should understand what your expectations should be, but there's going to be a lot of games in this showcase on Sunday, next Sunday.
Wait. It's going to be so much fun. So much fun. Wait, what's ILP doing of interest on the Sunday itself?
It's actually when we would normally go live. So we just it's on the Lord's Day at the Lord's Day. It was meant to be. So we do a live reaction. We'll do a live reaction.
It's so much fun. I'm definitely tuning into that. That's going to be so much fun. The Glitch Doctor, thank you so much. The Glitch Doctor, can't talk. The Glitch Doctor, thank you so much for the 10 euro super chat. Very generous of you. If Microsoft really purchased an IP, I hope it's talk about receipts. This guy's going back. Legacy of Kain. Oh my god, that happened.
That's my game. People don't know. That's a sleeper. Faye Victus. People don't know about that. That's a classic. The original Blood Omen. I believe. What's her name? She was a great writer. I think she used to do for PlayStation. I forget her name. She's the one behind a lot of the writing and the narrative. Great voice acting. When I get PlayStation 1 exclusive at the time, the original one. Such a good game. I actually prefer that than Legacy again. I'm a huge Kain fan. Like I love that game. Yeah.
Oh man, the nostalgia just got me in the head. And is the rumored Project Omen from Arcane is a Blood Omen remake? Oh, you just don't even. What you do to me?
He's shooting for the stars.
Most likely not, but that would be a dream come true. Yes, it would. Great show, guys. No, thanks to you and your support. Face, making it rain. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Just because Microsoft has the money to buy any studio publisher doesn't mean they want to sell. When Microsoft jump into the console gaming, they tried to buy Nintendo and they laughed them out of the door. Very true. Very true.
But Bethesda sure said yes, didn't they? and I, WB, like if Microsoft wanted to pony up the funds for that, WB would say it's like, I mean, there are some companies that may not want to work with Microsoft, but there are a majority of companies who, when they see that amount of money that is in their wheelhouse, they're like, yeah, we'll do it. I mean, I mean, of course, Nintendo would laugh anyone out the door. Nintendo doesn't need anyone to come and try and buy them. They've been running been running for 4 or 5 years or something.
They've been running for 100 years, over 100.
It's been 100 years. Yeah. I know it was like back in like the 70s. They were doing cards and different things like that. Like they've never needed anyone. Like they had like a 2 or 3 year dip with the Wii U, and they came out swinging with the Switch. And they don't need anyone. Of course, they laughed Microsoft out the door.
Yeah, and there's a different Microsoft in the gaming space. You have to understand. Yeah, whole different. Asa, you'd be sitting there quietly. We want to know. People want to know.
Let's go.
The smart tech. You'll just give the right answer, and then everyone's going to be deflated. Give us a
The reality check. Here's the reality check. Let's go.
Here's the
Come on.
reality check.
I won't give you the right answer. I don't know much. So E3, I think the rumors about the Outer Worlds 2 are really interesting. I don't think that can happen. I don't think that can happen because I don't think they can show it at the same time as Starfield.
Oh,
right?
That's why.
Two spacefaring RPGs at the same time, but that speaks to a problem that Microsoft have got elsewhere as well. So
That's
I think they have to.
It's a good problem.
It's a good problem, but if they can, they need to show Fable or Avowed, or they're going to have the same problem next year, especially with Elder Scrolls 6 just sitting behind them.
Oh,
I like that even better.
It's not just what's ready. It's like what else is coming in the pipeline, and they've got to space them out properly. So I think we'll get Avowed or Fable. Point. I hope so. I don't mind which one.
Talk, Ace. I'm with all of this. This is better than mine. Let's go. Keep going. I love this.
When Ace says it sounds extra spicy.
I'm like, I'm taking
does.
The thing is,
very deliberate.
I'm sure that's what Microsoft will want to do, but that doesn't mean that the studios are ready, right?
I'm
sure they're pushing hard.
Ace said it's going down. Flip it.
Ace has never wrong. Papa
Trusted source. Ace.
They've got to push hard for one of those two games, right? Or they're going to have a problem later. So one of them's got to be ready to show, hopefully. And like they're already running into their own problems with two Forza games that are in similar stages of development, right? They can't have Forza Horizon and Forza. It's just called Forza Motorsport now. It's not 8. But they can't have those two games at the same time because people will just go, that's too many racing games. I can't be doing all of them. Even with Game Pass, I can't play all of them. So again, one or the other of those has to be shown. And it sounds like they're both kind of ready to show, to be fair. So they could go either way on that one.
Xbox has too many games, is what we've just told.
Well, I don't think Xbox... I want to take into what Ace is saying. Like, Xbox doesn't care if you run into the problem of too many games. They don't care because they've been loading Game Pass with so many games. They put out a tweet this morning that says next mission is to fill Game Pass with the most best games we can possible, or something like that. There was their tweet this morning.
Official tweet from them?
From Xbox. Yeah, the Xbox account. So I agree with Asa. They have a problem with they're putting out 2 fantasy RPGs. They're going to put out 3 major ones in the same generation with Elder Scrolls, Fable, and Avowed. And then they're going to put Starfield and Outer Worlds 2 and Halo Infinite in the same 1 to 2 year period. And of course, there's other genres that are probably very similar that are coming in. But I think Xbox must have told themselves, like, so what happens if we put all these... we haven't talked about this, but they're going to put out like at least 5 first-person big campaign shooters out this holiday alone. They're going to put out Crossfire X, Exomecha, Halo Infinite, Battlefield was... I don't think Battlefield's coming to Game Pass. There's something else. What else is the first-person shooter they're coming out with? Well, Xbox doesn't own them, but they have Battlefield and Call of Duty are all coming in these 5 big games. Exomecha is smaller, but they've got these big shooters that are coming in the holiday season. And normally, like, EA would go, well, we don't want to compete with Call of Duty. So Xbox's thing is, we don't care. People are paying for Game Pass. They don't have to worry about and budget out and time out their $60. What I used to do is think, okay, these games are $60 a piece. I'll buy one here at the first of the month. I'll wait on that one till it's on sale so I can get this one that comes 3 weeks later. I used to kind of figure it out in my mind, like, this game's going to take me about 3 weeks to finish. By then, the next game will come out. I can buy another $60 game. Xbox understands their customers are paying $10 to $15 a month. They don't give a flying crap how many games they have to play, that they're going to play them when they want. They'll load them up on 2 different places at the same time. So
Game Pass.
It's crazy.
It's mad. Wait, Cole, I don't think I didn't notice the little, wait, what? Battlefield Game Pass. What have you been hearing? Because you've been hearing something else?
Yeah, I was hearing for a little while, like, this rumor's been going on for about a month that Battlefield is coming to Game Pass. These little sources, these little minions I'm talking to, we'll do the devil and the angel on the shoulder. One over here is saying it's most definitely coming to Game Pass, and the other one over here is saying I'm hearing it's not coming to Game Pass, and that's been debunked. And this one's like, well, I'm like really sure it is. Like,
it's a very polarized. Yep.
So so to save myself from the smoke, I'm saying it's not coming to Game Pass, because if it does, we can go woo!
Exactly.
Oh man. That'd be a big move.
Be interesting.
Oh, let me give you another reason why I think EA might just go ahead and put it on Game Pass.
Okay.
They're going up against Call of Duty, the juggernaut.
Mhm.
Battlefield's huge, but they've always had to compete with Call of Duty for the $60 purchase. If Sarah Bond of Game Pass sits down with EA and says, "Look, we've got almost 30 million subscribers on Game Pass, and those people know they don't have to spend $60. You will be able to come out and say, we have 7 million people playing Battlefield day one, and we're going to pay you this much money." I'm making up that number, by the way.
Yeah.
We're going to pay you this much money to come to Game Pass, so you don't have to worry about the $60 sale across all these people. What do you say? And EA's probably going, yeah. I mean, that's why I think it's so true, because how could they turn that down?
And let's be real, the structure of their games with microtransactions, and you have that automatic engagement at launch, and like you said, you made a great point for the standpoint of, they've been trying to get back into the Call of Duty battle, and if you have that base already there at launch, that is huge. And we already 100%. Seen the EA and Microsoft relationship, at the start of the launch of the Series X, where pretty much that entire catalog, minus the extremely day and date games, but to me, it's a deal that makes perfect sense on both sides. Because Microsoft would want that huge third-party game that, let's be honest, when a third-party game goes into Game Pass day and date, it hits different. We've seen it with Outriders. We've seen with MLB The Show. It almost feels like it's an exclusive to the Series X, because it feels like a no-brainer. Like, why would I get it anywhere else? I feel like I'm getting it for free. I feel like you're getting away with it, right? So, I'm hearing the two devils, the angel and the devil as well. I'm listening to the angel a little bit more, only because I feel it makes sense. And the other thing I would say is the only detraction that could happen, I would say to it, is maybe EA says, okay, you know what? We'll do it, but let's get the pre-orders up first, and we'll announce it later. You know what I'm saying? To get the pre-order money. That's the only thing I can see that could kind of mess things up for a minute. But to me, it makes perfect sense.
Well, imagine if the upfront money was like as much as a pre-order conglomerate. Like, who knows? What's that shout? That's what true. Is the shame the devil? What's the thing that you always say?
Tell the truth, shame the devil. If Sarah Bond in the bag is real big to offset that, like, hey, make that announcement at E3, and then everyone's happy. It could be really exciting, man. I'm curious to see where this thing lands as far as Battlefield.
It's about to destroy your dreams.
I know he's going to destroy your dreams. I'm going to say I'd be surprised. What would surprise me less is if part of Battlefield 6 comes to EA Play. Which means, yes, it's technically on Game Pass. The rumors aren't wrong. It's also on EA Play on PlayStation and on PC. Because EA do have their own subscription service that happens to be part of Game Pass, and I suspect there might be some crossed wires and maybe something like that's happening, but it's just a guess.
That's very smart.
And last tea leaf, Xbox account, and I believe one of the DICE directors been playing too nice on Twitter, sending little eyeball emojis to each other. Bro, I'm telling you, man, it's a relationship. Something's going on.
There's a major flirtation going there.
Yes, it reminds me of prior to the MLB The Show announcement.
Yeah.
Remember MLB, the Xbox account, and Game Pass account. Oh, hey, why don't we just talk about it? I was like, okay, something seems like it's cooking. So I hope so. That'll be a big boon to Game Pass for sure.
Huge, and it'll be a win for the game, like for Battlefield. You said, the player numbers will be off the charts, and that's what Battlefield needs.
Yes,
against Call of Duty. Gerald Mack, thanks so much for the $2 super chat. It says, if Microsoft did buy an IP, I hope it's Splinter Cell. Oh, that makes so much sense. Can you imagine if that happened? It does because
Splinter Cell's not an IP. I hear the Splinter Cell one a lot, but it's not an IP.
Damn it, Asa, let us have something, man. Let us
I want you to, but the IP's Tom Clancy, right?
Tom Clancy, yep.
You're right.
Now you know how I feel all the time.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one right there. Oh, listen, I'm like Rand. Like, I don't care what they announce. If Splinter Cell even just said it's being developed, game show, E3 of dreams. I'm out there with the headline, man. Oh man, I love Splinter Cell.
If I just hear the sound of the night vision goggles just turning on,
it's over. It's over. Stop the trouble. Pass out. It's the greatest E3 ever. I'll make a source video with that. Put it in the tab, I'll make a source video. You got my word here.
Really? That's it.
I will be live on the show with you.
You heard it.
That's a dream. That is a dream,
If
man.
Splinter Cell happens,
You got my word.
You
You said it. Cog will make a source video with my man Gas. Facts.
Yes, that'd be amazing. I hope it's true now. Well, I always wanted it to be true. Anton Williams, thanks so much for the $2 super chat. Kingdom Come is so underrated. I've never played that.
Deliverance?
I haven't.
Deliverance.
No,
Which one?
sure.
Deliverance, the Warhorse guys?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, those are my guys. Yeah. Great game. That's like a realistic Skyrim where you got to eat, and I was very proud. That game actually helped our channel tremendously. We found that game as a Kickstarter, and then they blew up, and it was such a cool story to see that game get the reception they got. Shout out to those guys, Warhorse, and now Coke Media, Deep Silver, and all that relationship. They've kind of blown up. They're gonna gear up for hopefully an eventual sequel. So I'm looking forward to it.
I didn't know about that. But okay.
Oh yeah, big game.
ASAL, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Again, he goes, too many games is a great problem. At least we have quick resume to help jump from game to game. ASAL's been sipping on that sauce. Yeah, we do. And quick resume and it's actually, and I'm not lying, it's a big reason why I want to move from PC to console or to Xbox, which I will be from next month. So yeah, no, definitely. It's not a gimmick. It's actually a game changer.
Quick Resume will come to PC, by the way. Just like prediction time.
Yes.
Next Windows version, it will say, how much space do you want to dedicate to Quick Resume?
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really good. Then I'll go back to it. No, probably I can't be migrating. JD, thank you so much for the $10 super chat, man. It says Battlefield on Game Pass reminds me of the move Sega did with 2K Sports back in the day against Madden when 2K games went at $19.99.
Oh, that's so
while
cheap.
Madden went.
I remember that.
Whoa.
That's
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was a big deal back then. That was 2K really disrupting the market with the superior game at an incredible, unbeatable price point, and Madden was such a dominant force that it made Madden for about 2 years drop price and match at $20. That was a huge thing. Wow. Shout out to JD. That's a big change in the industry at that time, to the point where EA got fed up and said, you know what? We're just going to buy this whole exclusive contract with the NFL and the players and kick you out of this whole equation. They were upset with 2K. 2K was disruptive. It was 2K, yeah, big time.
I missed that. No, 2K games, he says it took so much market share from EA.
Yeah, superior game, cheaper price point. That was a shift in the industry at that time in sports games.
But see, this is the thing with Game Pass, and it's a good, interesting history lesson there, because Game Pass will do something like this. So Sony will be aware until they're definitely feeling the pressure, man. This Game Pass is ridiculous now. It's like ridiculous. It feels like theft. It feels like theft.
Like right?
Yeah, we get it's like pirating games. Sorry,
yes, there was a super chat that was missed from, I think, Stefan Boxy. I didn't see the value, but whatever it is, very grateful for it either way. But just saying that he thinks, or they think, that Gears 5 should have been a launch title for the Series X. Which I assume is based on one of the X. Oh, he did see it. Go for it.
Yeah. I was gonna. Well, Asa, you like why? That makes no sense to me. Oh, because of the visual effect of it.
Well, presumably because of the lack of other games that launched with it, and the visual, because it looks very, very nice, and people like Hivebusters. So you can say, with hindsight, if you look specifically at the Series X, you can say that would have been like something for launch. It would have made launch better. But you can also look at the tail end of the Xbox One and say they kind of needed it too.
Yeah, I think they did. It would have been really spooky if the Xbox One didn't have Gears. As much as I think to me the bigger thing would have been if Hivebusters would have been available for launch, because that would have been for Series X launch. That would have been a really nice boon to show off and showcase. But I think I'm with you, Ace. I think I don't think you could take that away from Xbox when they really needed the exclusives at that time. So that's just me, my opinion.
Sorry for missing the super chat, Stefano. That was my bad. Faisal, thanks so much for the $2 super chat. £2 super chat. This IP is Metal Gear Solid. Oh my god! If the IP is Metal Gear Solid, bro, I don't even know what to say to you. No, it's just like I'll just go. There's to be source video will be me naked on.
That's when the OnlyFans starts.
Oh my god! Fair chances is coming, so please don't. You
can't edit that out.
Shabs, oh, what are you doing to me, Shabs? After just what I've just said, because he wants a live rap from me. Thank you so much for the £5 super chat, Shabs. Those bars was, terrible bars, but came from a place.
The beat was hot.
The beat was hot though.
It was like a rock beat. It was hard.
I lost my mind. So I lost my mind because I was sweating like a madman. And this place is so hot, and it's so hot in the UK. So I did the video, and if you notice the intro bit, I'm dead. Yes. I actually was delirious. I had no water.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I was delirious. I tried to play without the beat. Then I had my headphones on. And actually, literally, that's me going mad. And that was me. So I'm not doing a live rap unless you want me to die of heat and then start getting naked and doing weird stuff like that. PFG says Gaz's OnlyFans will deliver a different kind of. I'm not actually shouldn't read that. I should read all of that. There's some things
they demanded it, man. They want the song. Literally.
Literally.
I gotta do extra on it.
I'm
done. Yo, the chat is messy. Oh my god.
Yeah, chat is jokes. Oh man. I think we've actually gone way past the 2-hour mark. It always happens with someone from the ILP. Yeah, it's gone like this.
Apologies.
No apologies. Don't apologize. But
we're having fun. We're having fun.
We're having fun. We might as well extend it a little bit. I need to. We talk about Xbox a lot because Xbox is in the limelight. It is in Sony's not there, but Nintendo is still there, and I just as hyped as I can be for Xbox, Nintendo could just swipe it away with like Metroid, for instance. Oh my god. Lord, are you expecting anything from Nintendo? What is it that you want to see from Nintendo?
What I want to see, it would be nice if we finally get that new Switch Pro / Switch 2 with DLSS or whatever supposed to be going on with it. That'd be nice because I gotta be honest, I am Switch gang, but since the pandemic and now I'm forced, to be home. The incentive to throw on the Switch over my Series X and PS5 is not there. So when I'm out in Washington and I may be visiting Colt Eastwood, that's when the Switch was cool. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, it's just, they need the bump. They need the bump, and they really to get the fidelity up. And I'm very curious to see if they do announce it, how they handle it. Are they doing the cross-generational thing? Are they cutting people? I'm very curious to see how Nintendo handles a mid-gen refresh for some. I think that's just interesting. Yeah. So I'm just curious with that. And the only big thing that I think, and shout out to Solve who said this when we did our PlayStation prediction show, is, a lot of people were talking about, Horizon and how it could possibly maybe drop at the end of the year and, this year and be a big thing. And Saul quickly reminded us of history of 2017 that if Nintendo decided to announce Breath of the Wild 2, that could shake up the industry, regardless to how anyone feels about Nintendo. That title would be humongous. So I think everybody would be leery of where their release date is in relation and proximity to where Breath of the
Wild. Especially
Wild.
Horizon Forbidden West. They would change that up.
Yeah, shout out to Nick's. 60 frames on the Switch. I would love that. Just like I said, frame rate, like I said, they don't have to go crazy. If it's on the PS4, level or PS4 Pro level, I'll be fine with that. But they need some visual fidelity, please. Nintendo, please. I would like that. And more importantly, which I know is not going to happen, a true online infrastructure, Nintendo. Please, it's not a glorified stalker list of a friend list that I have where I can't talk to anyone. I can't message anybody. Like, come on, Nintendo. Like, let's get this going, man.
I need to cancel that sub because that feels like it's only £3.
We're paying for cloud save.
Yeah,
we're literally paying for cloud save. That's all we do.
It's stupid. It's like, oh man, why is this coming out of my account? That's stupid. I have to read the super chat. The source video should be called Naked Snake.
Oh my god.
They're going in.
Thanks for that, Faisal. Make it Anaconda. No, sorry. It's like Colt. That's definitely a lie. No, but Colt. Are you a Nintendo fan?
You're a Switch guy.
I've got a Switch. I'm a Razer Kishi guy, thanks to Cog. He told me to buy the Razer Kishi, so I've messed around with that thing. No, I'm not really a Nintendo guy. I've got too much to play on the consoles, so on like Xbox and PlayStation. So I don't think Nintendo could announce the world and it wouldn't shake up what Xbox or PlayStation are doing. Like, they'll still go forward.
Yeah.
No, I used to be. I mean, way back in the day, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, when Nintendo was really popular, I was on the Nintendo. PlayStation didn't exist, and then when the other consoles started taking off, I wasn't gaming for like 10 years or more. So when I came back, it was like onto an Xbox, and there I was. So Nintendo could show all kinds of cool stuff. It's not going to take away from what Xbox is doing or anybody else. They're in their own they're in their own thing, and they don't hinder or anything. Like, it's just, I don't know, they do great stuff. I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like, I don't ever play on a Nintendo, but I would never go to a Nintendo thread and start going, Nintendo sucks. Those games are for babies.
You shouldn't be excited for Breath of the Wild 2.
People are so crazy about that stuff. But when I think about the Switch Pro, I'll say this is spicy, but I'll say that you don't even need a Switch Pro. Like, you don't need the power, but Nintendo can upgrade the Switch and it will sell like crazy. So basically, them making a bigger and better Switch is just complete fan service. Like, their fans want it. They're going to enjoy it. It will be successful for them, and good for them. It's good for the industry all around.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Not good for the silicon shortages that are out there. But
good luck with that.
Yeah. Ace, I want to hit you with the super chat. C-Man, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Because at what point do we start discussing the output devices, TV monitors, that have an impact on Microsoft's strategy with the Series X and S? Why would
you want to throw that at me because you don't know what it means, don't you?
Damn.
That's exactly why I sent it to you.
That's good, because I don't totally either. I suspect that it's alluding to the Dolby Vision exclusivity thing, but I thought that was debunked. I'm not sure.
That was debunked, yeah.
It was debunked, yeah.
That was debunked, yeah.
I'm glad that it was. I mean, if that was their strategy to lock down technologies in output monitors, terrible. That would suck. But I don't think that is what's happening, so...
So thank you so much for the super chat. I still don't get it, even though Ace has explained it to me. So that's on me, not on you. JD Gamer, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. He goes, panel, predict the next 3 big Microsoft acquisitions you think will happen, the 3 you would love to happen, and for what? How many things you want to predict? And for what games or IP? I predict Sega, Warner Brothers, and Crytek. Those are huge. Sega needs to happen.
That needs to happen.
It's just a synergy there. That'd be amazing, huh?
Yeah, with you.
Miles got... Yeah, go.
No, go.
I was going to say Miles got me really sourced up, that's a good word to use instead, about the potential of Capcom happening. Do you think that would ever happen? That's just crazy to me. But it could happen.
Man, that would be huge. That would fill a need. I'll tell you that. Big time. I don't know how realistic it is, but yeah, Japanese company, and then that diverse lineup of games that they have, and man, like, could you imagine? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Resident Evil and the Street Fighter. It almost feels like that feels like
that's too much. That's too much.
The Sky Dream stuff. So I'm gonna hold back on it. But if Miles is saying something.
No, he was just guessing. Though.
He's just guessing. Okay, but at the end of the day, that's kind of pie in the star stuff. But if it happens, of course, I'd be happy.
That'd be mad. What do you think? What else?
What I want, Sega, like we said, I think WB would be huge. The problem would be the IPs, because to me, a lot of those, like the DC and stuff that they have tied to that, I think if the studios come without the IPs, I think that loses value. So I think if Microsoft's going to do the deal, they're going to probably say, hey, we need the IP. So, WB would be huge. That would serve a big need. And then third one. I'm trying to think. Hey, let's shoot for the stars, man. Square's been taking bags from everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
I doubt that'll happen, but hey, if the check's big enough, you never know. But those are kind of like my shooting for the stars kind of stuff. I don't know if any of that stuff really realistically could happen. I think Sega's probably, out of my pipe dream, so Sega's probably the closest that could happen based on them removing themselves kind of out of the pachinko division and kind of doing more game or streamline and stuff like that. But then again, to debunk my own wish pie in the sky thing is that they may just like the relationship where it is, where it's like, hey, we're in Game Pass, we're getting this good money. Sometimes not acquisition isn't always the answer for both parties. Sometimes the relationship as is could still be beneficial and everyone's still happy.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Everyone focuses on acquisitions and all that. In order for an acquisition to actually work, there needs to be synergy anyway between the two. And that's why the Bethesda thing works, because that's a pre-existing relationship that they fostered and developed over a multitude of years. So you're right. Cole, are you expecting any acquisitions? I mean, which one do you think is the most realistic?
No. People have asked me that a lot, and I don't think they're acquiring any studios, but then there's always those rumors about them acquiring IPs or working with publishers to get exclusive content. But then with that thing Jez is talking about, I don't know. I just didn't expect them to grab any more studios. There's like 3 different projects they're working on exclusively for Xbox. Like Project Dragon and Project Typhoon, and then I think there might be something else. Maybe that's part of the rumor. So there's so many games that they're gonna have. It's just nuts. I just hope they're all really, really good. One of them I'm a little iffy on. Like I've kind of talked about with Project Typhoon, I'm not like super excited about, but other people might be. There are some like really big multiplayer centric games that people really like that I'll have fun with for a minute, but
but it's good variety there. That's the thing. You've got massive variety.
Massive variety.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much, Dovikin, for the $5 super chat. Will the Super Nintendo Switch be considered a new gen? The upgrades sound too big to be a refresh. And will they dual develop for both machines? I think it'll be a cross gen. I don't think they'll forsake the Switch. That'd be insane.
That'd be insane.
But if you wanted to understand a view on Nintendo, here's one from Gaming Beyond the Box who says Nintendo was cool when my mom was bringing home uncles from the bar.
Will be.
Will be hood. What are you doing, man? Will be and his Twitter stuff makes me laugh, but I can't publicly acknowledge that. Yeah.
Sometimes I fall, I click like or so, and I'm like, damn it, Will be. This is out of control.
Yeah. Will be, shout out to Will be.
Shout out to Game Out of the Box for all those guys. Bob, I love those guys.
I miss that show because it's like in some vampiric times at 1 a.m. That's why Cold's time shows at the same time as well. Crazy. Okay, it's crazy. C-Man, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. BC, it's because the average consumer doesn't own a device capable of delivering the power of the consoles, and there are limited output devices. You're right. He's talking about the 120 hertz and all that falafel. And
even HDR and Dolby Vision. There's a lot of things. Like if the industry catered to the massive majority, I think Albert Pinello is one that taught me this. Is you're a customer, not the customer. And Bill Stillwell as well, real good friend, right, Cog?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he said you have to push the industry forward. You have to push them beyond their limits, or else you won't move forward. So bringing VRR 120 native 120 hertz on a screen, HDR, Dolby Vision, VR, all this stuff, like for the people that want to buy the bigger and better TV, they have access to that. And the people that don't, like if you have a 2016 4K HDR or kind of HDR TV, these games will still look and feel phenomenal because the games are looking as great as they can. But if you buy the bigger and better TV, you get that experience gets enhanced like all the way around. So I think it's the right move to go ahead and make the back of that console do everything that you could possibly do at that price point.
Love it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, good shout. Yeah, so that makes sense. Thank you, CMAD. That's the point. Has impacted the strategy today. There's zero reason to put out 4K 120. Well, lead it. Well, yeah.
I mean, nobody does. No games are 4K 120. They're 1440p 120. But the resolution count is doesn't really matter. Like what matters is if the game looks really good, the performance is solid, the colors and everything are vibrant. That bandwidth is there for the future. It doesn't really PlayStation doesn't have that right now. They can't do a native 4K 120 out the back of the port. The Xbox can, but most games won't, and maybe no games will. but
Yeah.
it's a big ask.
What's it? So yeah, guys, this is a record at 2.5 hours, and it's been amazing. It flew by like this. It flew by like that. I mean, I ended up talking about my topics right at the end. We were just
Got him in.
but that's the sign of it was an incredible show. It's like friends chatting and all of. Like, shout out to the 420 people watching. Smash that like button if you did.
Like
It
button,
feels like
y'all.
everyone is talking together. That's such a great feel, isn't it? It's like it's weird. I'm still kind of ish new to it. But thank you so much, everyone. Honestly, we are ramping up content. We've got a source video in the works that, again, I'll apologize. Actually, I don't apologize. It's so good. It's so
Watched
good.
it.
It's so trolly, just like the ultimate troll version. But let's see what happens. We're wrapping up content. Asa is going to be making memes, and we'll be doing making some announcements on more regular content as well, starting next month.
Okay.
We have to Game on Daily. I have to give a shout out to the Gameondaily.com. Is the website. All the news is there.
Absolute. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Guys. It's been a great aggregate. Thank you for that.
Thank you. It's still in development. Still a lot to do. We have some very ambitious goals. Asa can talk about this much more eloquently and succinctly than I can. But we've got something big in the works. Again, the website is we feel is best in class. Just want to get the numbers of engagement out there, but we've also got stuff way beyond what just an aggregation site. So shout out to that. But before we go, guys, thank you so much. I want to give a outro to these gentlemen. Lovely gents. Colt, you're sitting there smiling. Tell the people where they can find you. They all know where you are. The Sauce shirt looks so good on you.
Thanks. I should bring my dog in wearing the sauce 3 t-shirt.
Yeah.
That's so funny. They can find me on YouTube and Twitter at Colt Eastwood, where I'll be the insider of the day.
Trusted
No.
insider.
Yeah, trusted insider. Yeah, no, I really appreciate the support, and you guys are all really good friends. So being here is a total treat. The chat is amazing. If I'm looking over here, I'm looking at the chat. The camera's up here, watching you guys talk, and the guys and girls talk about all the stuff they're excited about. Like, it's such a great community. So thank you for letting me be here. And I just want to see Game on Daily to the stratosphere. You know,
thanks so much.
See the growth, and I hear people talking about the sites and mostly good things. A few insults here and there. No, I'm kidding. You guys are great. You guys are great. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for being here. It's an absolute pleasure. And shout out to XNC, the podcast that you've that's already hit stratospheric levels, but hasn't even taken off completely because you've got the universe.
Yeah, just I've only done 4 shows so far. I'm learning every day. The chat and the comments, like people are giving advice about how to kind of straighten things up and make it better. So keep that coming because Asa and Gaz have helped me a ton, like launch the show because we do kind of a similar show. Get people on that are that you really look up to and bring industry people in, which you guys have brought in developers. I've yet to do that. Like, that's amazing. And I love that as much as anybody else. So thank you so much.
No, thank you, man. And getting more developers on is on our manifesto because we are Game on Daily. We're a journalist aggregation site, so we will definitely be doing that. And there are things in the works there. So I hope you guys enjoy that. And we do bring up people who we do look up to. And that's both of you, and especially you as well, Cognito. I can't wait to meet you, man. It's been
likewise. Once the world gets normal, man, it's on, baby. You already know.
I can't
close.
wait.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
getting close. Yep.
And let's shout out to everyone in the community, man. Like, if we can ever get everyone together in E3 or something, that would be insane. But Cog, you are the pillar of the community, and I'm not just saying that lightly. You and the Iron Lords, like all the big guests, like like the Dusters, they're all shout out. I want to get on IOP. And I was very new to podcasting. I discovered it last year. And that's the first thing I said. I want to get on that one.
I appreciate it.
And thank you. And you had us on there. Thank you. But I can't wait. Tomorrow, Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Gaming Beyond the Box,
Yeah.
He said
Fonzie. What's up, bro? That's my guy, man. Salute to Fonzie. He's always supported, man. It means a lot. It means a lot because, like I said, we came from nothing. I remember the 10 subscribers and then, yo, you could call your cousin. You didn't show up today. We come from that. So, it means a lot. And thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, Fon's another one who's helped me because he just launched his show Games Talk Live. He does
Yes.
his on Sunday after Iron Lord's show,
Yeah.
and he's been getting on big people. And Fonz is like, he's making some moves.
Making
And yeah,
moves,
we talk on the
Yeah.
phone all the time. Like those of you who kind of watch the community, like we really are like a family. We talk very often, and we're all connected together, and we help each other. And Fonz has been gracious enough to help me with some of the things that all the technical stuff behind the scenes. Like when you're doing a show, you're like, oh man.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Fonz. Check out his show and his channel. He's growing from, he started his channel over because he wanted to do like a fresh start and he had this new approach, and he's taken off. He's like over 5,000 subs already. He's a voice to be heard for sure.
Super charismatic, good dude. You know, the sky's the limit for Fonz, man. You gotta bring Fonz back. He was on recently, I believe, right? On
Yeah. Oh,
I gotta
Fonz
bring him
definitely
back.
coming back.
Yeah,
So
definitely, man. Love what he's doing. Salute. And again, one of those original, people for us that he personally inspired me. I remember a quick story, I remember I was gonna stop doing intros at one point back in the day.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I had a bad experience. I got caught up listening to the comment boys. The comment boys on one particular guest who I will not say. The guest was cool. He loved it. But I remember like, damn, I might, if Fonz pulled me to the side, like, nah, man, like, yo, people love when you do that stuff. And I'm like, you sure? Like, they goofy. Like, and he always said it, man. So salute to him. Much love. Always support that brother. And salute to you guys. It's been awesome. I mean, Asa, I know. I got to get you on. You're on my list. You're on the list. Even Colt gets mad at me. When am I coming back? Like, I got a list, and it's just like, it's the good, it's that good busy, right? When you're busy, and it's just okay, people want to come on. I'm not used to it. So it's like now you have to schedule things out.
I can't wait for 2026. It'll be great.
All right, so when it's 2026, then hopefully I'll be on what is it, the X Games? XMC. Okay, yeah, Mr. Hollywood.
When are we coming, eh, Cole? That's a good shout. Yeah,
exactly. We gotta watch this one before he take off.
No, you work graveyard shift, but these two guys over here over in the UK, it's 1 a.m. for them. Gaz was nice enough to show up the first couple of shows, and he's like,
the time. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, see, Cole got a good excuse for that.
Hey, Cog, I'll tell you what I tell to Gaz. Quit your job.
Quit the job. Okay.
Quit the job and just
I'll make myself available. You let me know, I'll be there. But now, all jokes aside, like great community, everyone here. We all try to support each other. That's the cool thing, about the Xbox community and just gaming community in general. For the most part, content creators really helping each other, supporting each other, retweeting and doing all that stuff. All that helps. Thank you for this. This is great. Tomorrow, you already know, big prediction show, huge panel. This is usually one of our bigger shows. So if you got time on the Lord's Day, Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern, check us out. Big guests, obviously, the dealer, the Tim Dog, Boom, Kid Smooth. It's gonna be a big one. Just check us out, man. We're gonna have some fun. And then also I would be remiss if I do not salute my team, lordsofgaming.net. I am so proud of them. We made media. It's a big thing for us. And we, no one's getting paid. It's just by the fans, for the fans. And, it's just been really cool to see. So salute to the entire lordsofgaming.net team. They work really hard. They make me look good. So shout out to got the shirt on today. This is for the team, the home team. They're doing good. So expect some good coverage, hopefully, from E3 and anything that happens. And in the future, look for more things like that from us. So salute.
Can't wait. And shout out congrats for getting your press passes. For all the people got a GBTB got it as well. Well done to those. The community deserves it. Paris is in the chat. Shout out to Paris. Who do I need to kill to have you on our show? But that would be absolutely lovely.
I think it's me. You have to take me down. Paris is awesome.
That is the man.
That's the MVP. He's like whining and dining with Phil Spencer. How has he made time?
He out here moving. He out here lifting, man. I'm so proud of him. I'm proud of him. Seeing his growth, seeing what he's doing, his inspiration. No one should be hating on him and chairs and whoever he's with.
He's not stopping. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he's not stopping, brother. Everybody, real ones, respect it. So 100%. you never hate on another man's blessing.
But I'll be the first to admit that I'm jealous.
They look like they're having a good time. I'm That
like,
picture looked good.
oh man, that's like,
Yep.
that was a wicked picture. Yeah.
Yes,
How
salute,
tall
man.
is he? Or is Phil Spencer quite short? I can't
No,
tell.
no,
He's
Paris talker. He's
a tall guy.
It's a little of both. It's a little of both.
I'm gonna look like a hobbit standing
No.
next to Paris.
Oh, this
But
is
yeah,
cool.
shout out to Paris. Shout out to
Salute,
Paris.
salute.
Shout out to Kind of Funny X-Cast. And you killed it
Yes.
there as well.
Do you think when he was out to dinner with Phil, he shared his onion rings with him? Like I didn't share with you?
That was a funny experience. That was a good spot we went to. That was a good
Yeah.
spot.
He says, I'll take Colt as tribute.
No doubt. Look at this. Look at it in the chat. We got Paris. We got Cole.
We
We
got
got
Wandering
Fonz.
Dutch
This is
again.
great. We got good people in here, man. Salute to
No,
this
it-
community. Great community.
It's an amazing time. This is
And
like
salute to you
three
guys.
years.
Game on Daily, y'all out here, man. Salute.
thank
Not
you.
enough credit. Not enough
We're-
credit. You're doing your thing, man. Doing your thing. Love it.
I appreciate it. We're nothing without you guys, honestly. The whole thing is about aggregation content. You guys are the content. You guys are the people. You are the soul of what we do. And it's not just me romanticizing it, it's the facts. And Wandering Dutch, thank you so much again. You've been really generous. Dutch Man is back with £5 super chat. Again, it's a great show, guys. Much love to the Game on Daily crew, Lord Cog and Colt. Community is fire. Pleasure to be a part of it. No, it's pleasure's all ours. Thank you so much, gents. Asa, I'm always conscious of the fact that we almost took over you, but you are the man with the decisive knowledge. So forgive me. And always just slap me around and say, shut up, Gaz, like you do in real life. And then if you want to
That's
say
not happened.
something.
Just to clarify, like legal disclaimer, I've never slapped Gaz about, not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Oh, man. But yeah, no, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone in chat. Thank you everyone. Thank you guests. Love you all sincerely. E3 hype is here. The source hasn't even begun, and the content's coming from all these gents. Sign up. Watch out. Tomorrow the Lord's show is gonna be mad. You got Dealer, you got Kids Move, you got Sony, you got Boomstick, man. Shout out to Boom. Shout out to everyone.
Shout out to ACG. Shout out to ACG too.
ACG.
Oh, yeah, ACG.
Yeah, ACG, get on our show, man.
Legend.
I emailed him. Yeah, he's a legend. That's his reviews. Everyone is immensely talented. Thank you so much. Love you all. Peace out, and we'll see you very shortly. Game on.
Oh no.